Hello. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Oh, I just dropped a cookie on my lap. I'm eating cookies. Sorry. Sorry, I'm unprofessional. I'm eating cookies right now. A couple of people said they might come through, so let's see. One a.m. Wow. I set this thing back by 3 times. And actually, I started early from the third time I started this. So let's get into something then. And we already saw Jumping Jeff Farmer. Hmm. So I don't know what else I could jump into. Hmm. Okay. No, what is this?
Good evening, I'm Vincent Price. I'm going to be
No,
your
no,
host
no,
this evening.
no.
The Halloween season has always been a particular favorite of mine because terror
No.
is so
If this is going to be a
exhilarating.
show, I can't.
Did you know that
No.
Halloween?
No, man. No. It's going to be an actual show. I can't fucking show this. You're crazy, Vincent Price.
You booked a spacious Vrbo summer home with a pool big enough for the most epic cannonballs.
The Bugs Bunny Mother's Day Special, sponsored by McDonald's, where it's a good time with Ronald and his friends.
Still don't like Ronald.
The Great Basketball Playoff, starring Ronald McDonald. And Ronald makes the first basket. Now the McNuggets make a basket. The score is all tied up and the crowd going wild. Ronald moves in for a dunk.
Oh my god.
And the McNuggets go for a dunk. And you didn't even dribble. To air.
Fucking Ronald.
To cover it up.
Ronald's creepy.
Is to be a kid. And to handle it. DuPont certified Stainmaster carpet. Now, even if a stain like this sits for hours, it's a memory in minutes with DuPont Stainmaster. The carpet that forgives.
Ricky.
Stainmaster.
Carpet that forgives,
And
huh?
now, Bugs Bunny's Mother's Day. We will return to Bugs Bunny's Mother's Day after these messages. Ronald McDonald and Friends in Daydream.
Okay, this is weird.
Have my way, I spend every day.
Is she singing a love song to Ronald? No. No. Grimace. Oh, of course Grimace falls down, because Grimace is a friggin' idiot. Big useless idiot.
Come on, everybody. Let's go to McDonald's.
No, it's not a wonderful dream.
We're going to McDonald's, and sometimes happy dreams really come true.
No.
At McDonald's.
That's horrible.
Monday. This is the worst evening of my life.
Alright.
Peter, her ex-husband.
I'm not gonna show any shows or news footage.
Barbecue sauce you could really fall for. Get ready for that big bowl spicy taste of Bullseye barbecue sauce. But first, get to your mark, cinch up your belt, put your hat on tight. Bullseye is so powerful good, it'll knock you off your feet.
Knock you off your feet. That should throw him off the roof.
A double pleasure waits for you. A double pleasure from Domino's. A double great feeling making you realize double is the one for you. Double pleasure.
I feel like every time I watch these commercials, I'm seeing the same shit.
The end for you and more.
Tired of these Delman commercials.
Order to the chaotic state of American commerce. In 1901, when the master bureau
Oh, who's this guy?
people came here
Can anyone name this guy?
or the precise quantity in a quart. Today, industry and science come here, the measurements the Constitution's office never dreamed of. We, the people, are celebrating the 200th year of our Constitution.
Are you happy with the look of your windows? JCPenney can show you the wonderful ways with windows, and you save 15 to 40% on the most popular window treatments during the JCPenney window dressing sale.
Share the spirit. KXTV, Sacramento Stockton.
Sacramento.
Brought to you by JCPenney.
Sacramento, Jacksonville, Oakland, San Francisco.
At 11, the court clears the way for Spindle, who's permanently
Watching
released.
these friggin' commercials.
Just need a little tune-up, same as last. Give her a try. I think you'll notice the difference.
This is the performance of your Toyota. Make sure it's serviced by the people who know Toyota's best. You're right. It does run better. Genuine Toyota parts and service. We've got more for you.
That was about to extend my day. Oh, yeah, what did the doctor say?
Oh,
Really?
good. Well,
What?
well, you know, let's take some tests.
Why? You're full.
He says it's nothing to worry about.
Tom, you don't take tests. It's something to worry about.
Oh, listen. Whatever it is, we can handle it.
Sure.
Of course. Minus a few gallstones. He's doing just fine.
Sponsored by
Minus a few gallstones.
Corporation and its many fine products. Satisfying
Holy
your
shit.
family is what General Foods is all about.
It's from everyone at work. You know, you too.
When I hear what the pain of passing a gallstone, it's like, this guy's like, a few? Jesus.
And sugar-free sweet logo for the chocolate lovers. So, what's going on at the office? Have a week?
Oh my god, that girl at the end. The girl with the biggest hair. Chick from Wings. Crystal Bernard.
And sugar-free.
Pretty sure that was her.
Well, we can have a chef salad with a steamy toast
There's no seasoning in my
mayo and sour cream to whip in the salad.
Good seasoned
salad dressing mix. The idea is keep flowing on. Hello.
Oh no 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 no! Shut up! Get away! Go away!
Hearty sauce.
No way! No way!
Today, Alan and Anna bought their first name tag and will give it a spin for the first time.
Sorry, I can't show that guy's commercials anymore.
They'll wash away the money, and before they know it, they'll be knee deep in Camp Pocahontas and Team Spirit. In fact, through the years, there'll probably be only one thing that family and their mate tag won't see a lot of. Me. Mate tag. The dependability people. Prejudice. Rights. Day was a long time coming.
Man,
Ain't gonna be no lynching tonight.
what the fuck, man?
Come, Richard Widmark as Louis Gossett Jr.
I must thank y'all for the proudest day of my life.
A gathering of old men. Sunday.
A gathering of old men?
Sunday, May 7th.
Are you kidding me? All right, I'm not showing any more. I'm not showing any more movies. Or all right, this looks like a fucking shampoo commercial coming up. Boom, shampoo commercial time it is.
I know it won't be AIDS. It's cold.
Then try this. Johnson's Gentle Conditioning Shampoo.
Why?
You're growing up. So's your hair. This Johnson's cleans and conditions gently. The No More Tears way.
Why?
For manageable hair. Then Johnson's conditioner detangles.
So, doesn't look at home. Wow, Sarah, your hair looks gorgeous. I know.
Johnson's Gentle Conditioning Shampoo and Conditioner. The hair care pair for kids from Johnson & Johnson.
This is a cooler, but this is a
What the fuck? Ringo Starr was doing beer commercials? Are you kidding me?
This one, crystal clear. This one is not. This contains premium wine and real fruit juice. This does not. Unless you put this.
Did Ringo Starr really need money that bad at this time?
I was supposed to bring the food. You were gonna bring the chips.
Holy shit.
Dallas will continue. This is
Right. As long as they're not showing 3-minute previews of Dallas.
The story at 11. We'll all go into the water. Raise your hand.
Raise your hand if you're into the Whopper, by the way.
Keep your cool with this nifty car share. Only $1.69 when you buy a plain boiled cheesy Whopper. Large fries and
By the way, when I'm looking at these commercials, I gotta look in and see if anyone's waiting in the back. So
Yeah, I finally learned not to complicate my life. This morning, I dropped the kids off at Mom's and came home colored my hair. It was nice and easy. He thought it was my natural color. I can't believe he didn't know. No, it's really soft. Tom loves the way it feels. He's taking me away, isn't he? Listen, I've got to run. He's waiting. Of course I'm excited. I've never been there. So nice and easy.
I don't know. I think if you were that excited, you wouldn't be talking about your fucking shampoo, lady. Sorry, everybody. What's good, JJ?
chocolate chip cookies from Almost Home.
Hey, let me know if you're in the back. Oh, okay.
You're tasting their great chocolate. Deep dark, richer chocolate.
Almost Home. You can almost taste the recipe.
I used to bake chocolate chip cookies like this.
I love it at dawn. The whole world seems fresh.
Kenny Rogers loves it at dawn. It's kind of strange to hear from K-Raj. Love it at dawn.
Oh, it's a brand new taste this morning. You know, Christopher, mornings like these remind me of when I was a little boy.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, K-Raj. That was weird.
When you make a McDonald's McDLT fresh on the spot, you make a great hamburger. When you put it together, fresh on the spot, you make McDLT taste so crisp and hot. Hot sizzling beef, a cool side too. But it's not McDLT, but I love you. Because you make the DLT, it's never soggy, never wilted.
It's a good time.
Are you guys sure?
When it's new, it's small. It's so big, and that ain't all. It's so neat, complete.
All right.
On the street, it's a Ford. It's the best dealer. It's a Ford.
Did everyone in the 80s have to look so 80s?
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Honey, I'm sorry about the Amazon. I thought it was like a strawberry and cream vest, so I figured it'd be all right if I ate the last raspberry and cream. Yeah, with chocolate.
Oh, God. Alright, I gotta take a break from this. Holy shit. I mean, I know, like, I like watching those stupid ass commercials and all, but they seem to get stupider and stupider. It's like every director in these commercials told the person acting in the commercial, can you just look as stupid as possible? Can you just say the dumbest shit that could come out of your mouth when you look at this fucking popsicle? Anywho. Alright. I had to take a breather from that one. Let's see 90s commercials. I'm sure 90s are just going to be all extreme. Extreme.
Don't go away. The Disney Afternoon will return.
Get ready for the biggest offer in history from Nintendo.
Free Dragon Warrior game pack when you subscribe to Nintendo Power. A free game pack worth $40 plus 12 big issues of Scorching Power Tips and Wicked Video Maps for just $15.
Beat that.
Plus an Explorer's Handbook to help you master the Dragon Tonight. Soar, fly, but act now. Supplies are limited. Call 1-800-341-3000 for your free Dragon Warrior game pack and 12
I never really messed with that game, Dragon Warrior. Maybe it's good. I don't know.
Are you? Sure I am. She's Cool Cut Kara. Cool Cut Kara lips tighter. Give her style, give her flair. What a beautiful look.
Cool Kakara.
Add new hair and start again. Great. Extra hair sewn separately.
Alright, so it's just a Barbie that you keep giving weaves to.
Now she's ready for a date. If you gotta see this for
So all you gotta, so then you just keep wasting fucking money on extra hair for this girl that probably didn't even last too long on the shelves. The fuck? Yes.
Now I'm driving for real.
Met up with number 2 in second Jeep Safari. He brought Tank, and Tank's tough. But we need luck, too.
Power Wheels.
Oh, man, it's a jungle out there.
The new Power Wheels Jeep Safari. What a
What's up, Sentinel? Hang on one second. What's up, Sentinel?
What's going on, man?
Hang on. I'll take these stupid commercials off.
What up?
I was just watching these stupid commercials for a little bit. How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I had a nice day.
Did you celebrate Father's Day?
No. Not really.
Oh, same. I'm not a father.
Yeah. Maybe someday for me, but certainly not now.
Well, it's not in my fucking future. Did you watch that? Did you watch the horrible pay-per-view?
Oh man, I couldn't. I couldn't. I haven't been interested since WrestleMania.
Well, I went to my friend's house and he had it on. So,
Was it any good?
no.
It was terrible.
Oh, it was god awful.
That's sad. At least you can enjoy it. You know, the misery with a friend and a drink or something like that. You know, go there, just hang out, smoke a little bit.
Well, the funny thing was, he was like, this every time a match would come on, I'd be like, I'd be like this.
Yeah.
So he'd be like,
Why are he like? Why are
he
you
like, it sounds
complaining?
like you're being tortured by the Taliban. I was like, I don't know, because it's so bad now.
It is pretty bad.
I'm not in charge of everything.
They fire. They. I didn't like this later rounds of firing. I felt Lana and the Iconics should still be there. I think they should have given the sack to a lot of the ugly women. I'm glad Eva Marie's back. I want female wrestling to be a kind of just a better in-ring version of what we got, you know,
Yeah, I'm very-
98 to 2004.
I've grown kind of annoyed with the women's wrestling shit. So
It's either too in-ring focused. It certainly doesn't have any. They certainly don't have any good female storylines. I can't remember one good female wrestling storyline. All the good storylines involving the females are, you know, intergender in the sense that it's either, you know, Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt. That was interesting, but Alexa Bliss doing this by herself, I guess a lot of people online don't really like it.
okay,
I don't
Bray-
mind it because I love Alexa Bliss. I think she's
when
fucking
when
great.
it comes to the creative direction of any fucking character, pretty much in the history of pro wrestling, Bray Wyatt has been the most horribly written character
Yes,
forever. Since
horribly
he
booked.
started.
Horribly booked. Yeah.
They constantly try to cut that guy's nuts off every time he gets some sort of
I mean, he didn't really. To me, he doesn't really look like enough of a physical threat to be a proper, you know, a proper successor to the Undertaker. But you know, as like a,
Should have
you know, like a more sophisticated Papa Shango character, I felt that he shouldn't have been buried the way he was at WrestleMania 30 by John Cena. I think that had that kind of, they don't respect the unless you're Brock Lesnar, they really don't respect the monster heels anymore. This 50-50 booking is, they're just not, they're not doing it correctly in a way that makes sense within a context of a story, because to be honest, they don't really tell stories anymore. They just say, hey, you, in a very superficial, you know, kind of outline that 25, you know, writers.
They
in a
also
room.
seem very opposed to creating superstars the way they used to.
Oh, absolutely. I don't understand why, because they should be getting the most charismatic, star appeal people onto the main show in the main event as possible. I don't understand why John Cena has to be the last superstar in
And there will never be another one after him, which is what it really is. Because
Well, John Cena was just The Rock is basically just doing what The Rock did. He's basically Diet Rock.
all right, well,
The
this is my opinion on why John Cena, Randy Orton, and Batista got pushed to the moon, was because that WrestleMania that Brock and Goldberg left on the same fucking day, they're like, hey, we have to create new stars. And they did it with those three.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Brock was a new star.
Brock was a part of that. The
OVW crew.
That 01 OVW crew.
Yep.
Batista, Brock, Randy, and John Cena.
And
that's what fucked them, because Brock was
Shelton
a
Benjamin was there.
great wrestler.
Shelton Benjamin was there too. I liked Shelton Benjamin.
He was all right. He was never really involved in anything that was captivating to me, at least. Neither was
Well, I
Randy
mostly liked him and Charlie Haas when they were.
Well, Charlie and him with Kurt Angle worked.
Yes. Yeah.
For me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they were perfect. They were the perfect backup stooges to Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
But watching Brock, I just watched a couple days ago. I watched a 2002-2003 match on Raw between Brock and Ric Flair, and it was so much more entertaining and so much shorter and better paced than 99% of the matches I see today.
Yeah, but that's I think I was having this discussion with a couple of people.
It was 13 minutes long. They clearly told a story in the ring. They booked it in a way that helped both characters get over. It wasn't just Brock burying Rick. Rick, got Rick's stuff in, the dirtiest player in the game kind of stuff. And it was just kind of like the legendary Ric Flair versus the up and coming Brock Lesnar. And of course, Brock won in dominating fashion, but it was still a good, entertaining match that didn't need a lot of story there because it was sort of self-explanatory.
But I was saying this to a few people, like during conversations about wrestling. It's like, why should we give a fuck more about the mid-carders from the Attitude Era and back in the day in the 80s and shit, and the new generation? Like, why do we, compared to the main eventers today?
Because we remember them because they're characters. We remember Razor Ramon.
Better writers.
We remember Big Daddy Diesel. We remember the Heartbreak Kid.
I remember.
We remember the Hitman. We remember these wrestlers because at that point, the new generation age, it wasn't that most sophisticated writing. It was
but you know what? Compared to today, give me Adam Bomb over anybody fucking today.
Yeah,
I liked Adam Bomb.
I'd take bad, circa 2001 WCW over anything today. Really. Wrestling isn't wrestling without Vince Russo. That's my opinion.
I don't know. I can't say I'm a fan of Vince Russo. So.
I know. A lot of people aren't. He's a pretty good guy, very nice guy on Twitter. He makes himself very accessible to his fans, and I appreciate that.
He kind of helped ruin wrestling even after the acquisition of WCW by Vince.
How?
Because he didn't do jack shit with TNA.
From my point of view, I never watched TNA, so I don't know. But from my point of view, in TNA, it was the Jeff Jarrett show.
You never watched, even like around the time they started? You never watched it?
No, unfortunately, I missed out on a lot of it, and it sucks because I follow Velvet Sky on Twitter, and I watched some of the clips back of like 08 to 12 where they had Daphne. I really like Daphne.
Oh yeah, I remember Daphne.
Yeah, Daphne was fucking cool. She was like that. She was the goth chick before Paige.
I just ended up finding Crowbar on fucking Twitter. It's wow, Crowbar's on Twitter? I didn't know this the whole time.
Exactly. And there was still character stuff. There was still storyline stuff involving Daphne and David Flair that was entertaining. I'm not entertained by most of the wrestling today. I was entertained by the Edge Roman Reigns thing until Daniel Bryan found a way to shoehorn himself into it. But that wasn't him doing it. It was some other creative who said, look, we should make it a triple threat at WrestleMania. At least Roman got the pin, so I like that.
I can't even say I'm a Roman Reigns fan, so
I like him so much more now.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of too many new guys. Yeah, of course I like AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, but it's like their characters. They make their characters so fucking stupid.
Have you seen the guy Eric Bugenhagen? He's doing segments with Shinsuke Nakamura. He's a big muscular guy with a mustache, and he plays
No.
guitar with
No.
Nakamura.
Today was the first day that I watched WWE. Well, actually, because going on Twitter and stuff, like if you follow a certain thing, everyone's gonna be bitching about something, and they were saying that on Friday was the Hell in the Cell between Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio. So I clicked on like the last 3 minutes of that match when it was on. But yeah, they decided to take that off the fucking card and put it on goddamn SmackDown.
Why? Why? It's Hell in a Cell. That should be a main event pay-per-view.
Because they have no idea what they're doing. Who knows?
Vince is
They're
gonna
gonna sell. They're gonna
sell.
exactly what I was saying.
Vince is gonna sell. He's gonna probably sell it to. He's probably gonna sell it to NBC Universal because he's always had a long-term working relationship with NBC. NBC, remember, used to host
they used
Saturday
to have
night's main event.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, even in the 90s, they were doing it before. See, I never had cable growing up, so wrestling, all I could see was the Saturday night main events. And
well, he also had like the first XFL deal was him and NBC, right? Wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it was him and NBC. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I think they'll go with NBC Universal. I don't think Disney for some strange reason I thought of as one of the potentials, but
yeah, I was
knowing more about his history and relationship with the people at NBC, it's going to be NBC Universal.
Well, Vigilante, right? Vigilante Williamson, him, right?
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with him. I was like, "What about Amazon?" Well, maybe Amazon.
No, I don't think Amazon. Amazon would have to make Vince an offer he really liked if he were going to go with them. They have no relationship whatsoever with Amazon. They don't even have. I don't know if they have. If they even have wrestling content on there. Probably
if
wrestling
he
movies.
does sell to NBC though, what is NBC going to do with it? What are they going to do?
They're going to bring in their own writers, their own people, and maybe it'll be a fresh start. I would like to see it. I really don't. The problem I have is Vince doesn't care anymore, and he doesn't care anymore because Stephanie has gotten in his ear.
I was going to say
she has completely ruined WWE from the inside out.
So I'm going to say if anyone in NBC were to buy them, they would sweep Stephanie and Trips out the door. They'll be like,
probably.
I'm all for it.
I really, what I always was hoping would be for Vince to have, an epiphany and realize, he's got to give it to Shane and he's got to get Stephanie and Triple H out of there. But that should have happened in 2009. See, Vince and Shane wanted to know what the plan would be as far as when Vince was gone, and he was asking Vince about it, and Vince didn't like that Shane was, asking him about, the long-term plan going on. And
so
Shane
which is
said,
why he was the low man on the totem pole, which is why Stephanie
No.
brought him.
Shane potentially saw Stephanie taking a more creative role within the company, and Shane was still being used as the on-air talent, really, and I don't believe was as involved in the production of creative like Stephanie was, and maybe he should have gotten involved. I think Shane didn't take an official title like Stephanie did, where she was put as head of creative in 2002. And if you notice, in 2002, that's when the ratings go on to their decline.
Well, I'd say it's once they dropped the F and turned into E, that's kind of when it started to take a bit of a nosedive.
I mean, I guess it was still entertaining enough for me from 2002 to 2009 at least. But after 2008 and 2009, where they really gave you Super Cena and nothing else, I completely lost interest. Again, you
Don't
need.
forget,
You
we also got
cannot.
the Viper. We got plenty of the Viper. Good guy.
That was so stupid and redundant. It was like going to watch the Harlem Globetrotters beat the Washington Generals every week.
I can't stand Randy Orton.
There was no suspense whatsoever because we knew John Cena was going to beat Randy Orton every fucking week.
No, even when if it was Randy Orton up against someone else, you know, Randy Orton was going to win. Unless he's been the champion for 10 months or how
it was just very predictable. And I don't like this guy, but I have to admit, at the time, he perked my interest in wrestling again by kind of bringing back the work shoot thing that Vince Russo created, and that was CM Punk's pipe bomb.
Yeah, I know.
That really got me interested in wrestling again, at least for a time.
That got a lot of people interested in wrestling. Yes.
Because that was, you could believe that. You could believe that storyline.
And what did they do? They wiped their ass.
They wiped their ass with it.
What up, JJ?
What up, man?
How you doing, man?
Hello.
You just got done with the what was it? Jackbox?
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, man. You mind if I throw the link out to somebody?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Someone who's not a fucking moron, right?
Well, I don't know. It all depends on who you talk to. They're not a bad person. It's just, it all depends on who you talk to. Which, you're cool. Trust me.
Oh,
I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you. But yeah, I'll be right back, man. I got to go to the bathroom real quick. But I wanted to go ahead and just go ahead and pop in here.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
Gotcha. Okay, wait, my sound is still on, right? All right, once he cut his sound, then it sounded like my sound dropped. Sentinel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. They're not going to create anybody else. It doesn't matter anymore because all entertainment is shit now. Anyway, all entertainment.
It is.
I'm clinging on to football. I don't know how much longer I have left, but I'm clinging on to football.
At least, well, football's gotten softer. It's lost a lot of its. I mean, I'm a fan of certain teams, so I'll always be invested in football more than any other sport.
I know you're a Niners fan.
Yeah,
right?
I'm a Niners
your
fan.
posts on Twitter.
I'm very, very invested, in that. I have been since I was like fucking 8 or 9 years old. That's always been my team. Even when I didn't give a fuck about any other sport, I'd always watch the 49ers. So what I'm saying is football, but I couldn't get on. I watched them, and then Colin Kaepernick is bullshit, and I had to step away from. They ruined football for me. That whole.
I understand.
It just completely ruined it. It was no longer about the fun and the rooting of the team. It was about the agenda and the message. And people, forgot what, they were. People forgot they were supposed to be playing football.
Well, they also tried to turn an escape into an agenda.
Exactly. So, I mean, even Bill O'Reilly. I mean, when Bill O'Reilly called it out, I was like, "Is he right?" Because I always hated Bill O'Reilly, but don't what's the term? Don't dismiss wisdom, even when it comes from people you don't like.
Don't shit where you eat.
No. Don't dismiss wisdom, even if it's from somebody you don't like, because what they're, if you're going to dismiss what they're saying just because you don't like them, then you don't hear the wisdom of what they're saying. And when Bill O'Reilly rightfully criticized the social agenda of the NFL and it not being about football anymore. The Colin Kaepernick really creating this fake outrage.
Divide.
Divide. It was all a Marxist technique just to divide people.
What's up, Vigilante? How you doing?
That's what. Hey, Vigilante, what's up, dude? And it just, like I said, I stopped watching football from like 2016 to 2018.
You a Sentinel? Are you Doomcock?
No, I'm not Doomcock.
Was the alter ego? Okay.
I'm not Doomcock. I don't claim to have sources. I don't claim to have sources inside Disney, and I don't claim that there is a civil war in Disney. You can call me. Just call me the Sen. Man, keep it simple. Oh man. Yeah. In 2016, 2018, I just checked the fuck out of football. And finally, when they had a new coach put in, a new quarterback put in around 2017, 2018, that's when I started watching again, because it was like, okay, the old regime is out. We're moving on. Fresh start, new coach, Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo. And that was really what I got,
What up, Honstar?
What's up,
when
brother?
I got back into it. Hello.
How you doing, man?
Hello, the Sentinel. I don't think I've met you before.
No, I
Hello.
haven't met you either. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you as well.
Cool. Two cool people meeting each other for the first time that I've known for a bit.
I'm just glad you're doing a stream while I'm off and I have time to jump in, since I can't be a night owl much anymore because of my work schedule.
Oh, that's why I don't know whether to send you links or not. Well, same thing with Sentinel. I just been sending Sentinel random links. It's like, hey, if you come through.
Yeah.
You can always send me random links, but like Tuesday night through Saturday night, I can't do late night because I have to get up at like 4:30 in the morning for work.
I'm mostly a late night guy, so.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Sunday is my Friday, so I can do stuff later Sunday night and Monday night. But other than that, that's really the only two nights I can stay up later.
Oh, by the way, Vigilante, I sent you a link on Twitter if you want to come through.
Oh man. All right.
Hello
back.
again,
Yeah.
JJ.
Hey, Han, how you doing? Making it all right? No problems? No traffic?
I hadn't seen you in 5 minutes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. That's kind of like record timing, ain't it?
I shook up my gumball machine, JJ, and it still doesn't work, so I'm going to have to totally disassemble it. Which actually isn't a big deal. It's not a big deal to disassemble it or get the gumballs out of it, because I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
there's a massive gumballs at the bottom.
You own one of those old school gumball machines?
Yes, I do.
It's right over his shoulder. See the blue light right there over his shoulder?
I've actually had it since I was a kid. It's a vintage Toy and Joy penny gumball machine from like the 60s or 70s.
Okay.
It was made into a lamp when I was younger, and I've had it forever. And for some reason, randomly the other day, I was like, I should really pull that gumball lamp out because it's really cool, and it was just sitting in my closet. So I put a smart bulb in it, like all my other lights, where I can change the colors and stuff. So yeah, I tried to be funny because I was talking about the gumballs are like a decade old. So I went to put a penny in it and get some of the gumballs out to eat them just to be funny. And the mechanism's jammed up, probably because all the gumballs on the bottom have like solidified into a concrete mass of gumballs. But yeah, it's a cool vintage machine. That's all metal. And like I said on Jackbox, it's all metal construction because it's old school, and it's the tooth. The only negative thing about it is my uncle made it into a lamp, which means a hole was drilled in the lid of it, which takes away from the value. But it's a vintage gumball machine, and I actually have the original key and the original plastic coin tray that caught the pennies that went in, which you can find these on eBay for like between $100 and $200 for the same machine, but most of those do not come with a key. And I still have the original key and the original coin tray that catches the coins.
So you were able to get all that shit out of the bottom, or you gave up?
Well, I shook it just to see if I could knock it loose. Tomorrow, it's really easy to disassemble. You just take the key and the front mechanism comes off, and then there's like a screw rod that lets you take the lid off of it. So
Yeah.
I can dump all the old gumballs out.
Oh,
and
living
see-
around here, I used to see all the time. I saw because they used to have the double stacked machines where there would be the
Yeah.
little bit shorter one, and behind it would be the bigger one with more stuff to put the quarters in. They also quarters around here too.
And like I was telling JJ, there was another vintage machine from around the same time my dad had that I wish I still had it.
I got you something.
It was blue instead of red, but it took a nickel, and it was the kind that would take like the capsules. You know what I'm talking about? The plastic capsules that had like a little toy or something in it.
Yeah. With
And-
the bubbles, the little clear bubbles.
Yeah, the little bubbles.
Yeah.
I wish I had that one, but I don't know whatever happened to it. When my dad sold everything and moved to Florida, it probably got snapped up with all the stuff he sold. But like I said, my uncle made this one into a lamp, so I've had it since I was a kid. And when my kids were smaller, it was in, my kids' room. It's just kind of a decorative thing. The light on the top, kind of looks like a gumball, which is kind of cool. And it actually is a functional penny gumball machine when it doesn't have 10-year-old plus gumballs in it.
Yeah, I never saw the penny ones, but you used to get the quarter ones.
Yeah,
Everything was
that's-
a quarter.
That's what makes. I've actually heard them going back as far as the 50s. I need to get the serial number off of it to see actually how old it is, because I haven't really took it apart in a while. But they actually started in the 50s through like the 60s or 70s. And sometime in the 70s is when they upgraded to the nickel machine, which is like after the penny machine, it went up to the nickel machine, which would either A, hold the capsules, or B, hold like the bigger gumballs.
Mm-hmm.
These are like the small, gumballs. But you get like 3 or 4 gumballs for a penny when you put a penny in it, which obviously
Well,
that
I also
makes sense.
I also remember during the really disgustingly hot summer days where the gumballs, depending on the position of where they had those machines and whether the sun would be beaming down on those machines,
Yeah.
the gumballs so it wouldn't be in the best shape when you get them from the machine.
Well, and this machine has been kind of inside, but it's also sometimes been stored like in a garage storage closet where it's not as cool as, the air-conditioned house. And it's been in my bedroom closet since we moved into my current house, which obviously it was in air conditioning, but at the same time, like JJ and I were talking about earlier on the other stream, the gumballs are as old as they are, so it's probably congealed and like set up like you're talking about.
We're all around the same age, right? Sentinel, you're in your 40s?
I prefer not to say.
All right. Well, you'd say around your 40s, if that's anything. Like, you remember arcade games. If I could.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, going to arcade.
Yeah.
Going into places and seeing arcade games. Does anyone remember where you were allowed to smoke in arcades, like smoke cigarettes? And there would be people,
Yeah, dude. Hold on.
And there
Before
would
the
be-
non-smoking ban, dude, I used to go to fucking what's that place that they advertise on TV?
Dave and
The arcade. Yeah, I used to go to Dave and Buster's, all right, and go sit down at a video game. One of the sit-down models. Order me a drink, have an ashtray. I could sit there, smoke my cigarette, play a big-ass fucking video game, and have a drink, dude. I had a blast.
I'm talking earlier than that. Like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
there would be people smoking a cigarette and like the back because we have arcade games all over the place around here, whether it's a pizzeria or a deli or a candy store, comic book shops. Like we have them all over the place, and there would be people that were allowed to smoke in these stores, right? So if they'd be playing Street Fighter and they were smoking a cigarette, they'd be putting their lit cigarette on the cabinet.
Yep.
And it's just like melting away at the cabinet.
I still remember the pizza place we went to when I was a kid, which isn't as good, obviously, as your New York pizza that you got. It was Louisville, Kentucky pizza. But I still remember they had 3 video games. They had, which I still think they're awesome, they had a tabletop Pac-Man, a tabletop Centipede, and they had a standing cabinet Shinobi. You remember Shinobi?
Of course, I remember Shinobi. I just did a video about that, like about a month ago.
At the time, you could still smoke in there. So on the tabletop games, there was an ashtray always just sitting on the tabletop video game. You know,
I never came across any place that had those tabletop games.
Oh, I wish I had the room, which obviously in here I don't, because you can't really tell the size necessarily from, the camera view. But this was one of my kids' rooms. It's like a normal size kids' room. So I don't have room for stuff like video games unless I took a bunch of shit out of here. But I guess it's just nostalgia because I saw them a lot as a kid.
Were the tabletop games, were they more for restaurants than for like anything else?
That's the main place I ever saw them, was mainly that pizza place. And other places we went, like, again, talking about you can smoke in there, it was like bowling alleys and stuff like that. They normally always had stand-up games.
Bowling alleys.
Yeah,
Pizza Hut back in the day, you could smoke in it.
They always
round table pizza, you could smoke in it. This is when
they always
had
at the bowling alley, they always had the game room with like a pool table and like stand-up video games. But the pizza place was the only place as a kid that I saw the tabletop video games. Which,
Pac-Man and stuff like that.
Yeah, like they had Pac-Man and they had Centipede was their 2 tabletop games. And then they had like one stand-up, which was Shinobi. And that's... I think it's a nostalgia thing, and you don't see
Shinobi was awesome, by the way.
You don't.
My pizza had fucking a tabletop version of Galaga.
Oh, that would be good too. Yeah. But I guess it's a nostalgia thing for me, and you don't see them much because you see stuff on YouTube and on Instagram of everybody with like the vintage, stand-up arcade games, and you hardly ever see a tabletop.
Nope.
And to me, that's like nostalgia because to me it was like that was, 3/4 of the video game. Because, like I said, at the time, they only had 3 video games in the pizza place we went to, and 2 of them were tabletops.
The first time I ever saw one of those tabletop games was in The Wizard. In the fucking... That's the first time I was like, where are these in my area? How come I've never seen this in my area?
The cool thing about the tabletops was you sat in a chair and it was like your coffee table had a video game in it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I wish I could do this while I'm waiting on my food.
And they were 2-player where, there was a chair on each side of it. So you could do 2 players, in the games. And 2 people would sit across from each other with the tabletop game, between them. And there was a separate screen and controls, on each side. So, like, if we played 2-player, like Pac-Man, I would play on my side, and then when it was your turn, you would play on your side. I really wish I had more room or could build, like, a game room, somewhere. And get some tabletops, which I'm sure they're really expensive now because, like I said, even as a kid growing up, I saw very, very few. I say very, very few. I only ever saw 2 tabletop games as a kid.
Well, of course, anything from back in the day is going to be more expensive now.
Well, and as you said,
New stuff is expensive. So
and
of course
as you
the old stuff is
said,
gonna be
the
expensive.
cool thing about the tabletop games, which is people like us that are older and remember, you know, there's going to be cigarette burns on them
Damn
Oh,
right.
all right.
because
So
a
this-
tabletop game, you're either going to set it in the ashtray or you're going to put it on the. Oh, it's my turn. I'm going to set my cigarette here on the edge, and it burns in. You know.
No. There were games around here, not even tabletop. It was the stand-ups, the regular stand-up cabinets, and no one would mind in the store that. All right, see, I was like maybe like 10, 11, 12, and we were hanging out in stores, and there was like 17, 18-year-olds playing the games, like, because we all took our turns playing the game. Like, we used to have the stupid thing where you would stack up your quarters at the top of especially if you're going to play one-on-one. If you're going to do two-player, everyone would stack up their quarters. And these kids would put the cigarette in between the 1 or 2 player button on the arcade cabinet. And it would cook away at it, right? And then there was another thing where all these stores would rotate the games in and out. You weren't going to find one particular game in a store for maybe about 4 or 5 months before they move it out to another store.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone would tag up on the side of the cabinet. So they would rotate these games in and out of all different stores around here. And I would be able to recognize cigarette burns. I'd be like, oh, I played this game before in another store. It's like, oh.
Yeah, they would.
My friend carved something on the side of this cabinet. Oh, I recognize this.
Here's one that's not. I mean, it's retro. I mean, I guess it's retro, but it may be a newer version. It may be.
What's up, Parrothead? How you doing, Parrothead?
No, this one's probably a newer version. But
Of what?
here's of Miss Pac-Man. Let me if you'll share my screen for just a second.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see.
Let it begin.
But that's either A, a reproduction, or B, one that's been upgraded because it has an LCD screen instead of like the old school VGA or whatever. Not VGA. You know what I'm talking about, the old school
Yeah, the old
screen.
TV screens, yeah.
And it also says it has like 8 other games built into it. So that could possibly, more than likely it's a reproduction, but it's still just under $500
That's not bad for that.
for a tabletop Miss Pac-Man.
Well,
But did you see what I was talking about?
It's got more than one game in it, so $500 is actually reasonable.
It says it has 8. I didn't look and see what the 8 other games are, but as you see the tabletop, like I was talking about, people sat across from each other, and they were just chairs like the table chairs that you would have at the table, you know, where you sat to eat pizza.
Is that an
at the
ashtray
place
on
I
it?
went to.
The very top of it? No, never mind.
But yeah, you would sit across from each other to play 2-player games. I don't know that that's a vintage one. I need to find.
Hey, is there another angle of it?
Let me.
Because it's
look
got
and
the
see.
games on the tabletop. What it looks like what was in there.
That's the only picture of it. It
Oh,
just
okay.
says arcade 1-up, Miss Pac-Man 8 games and 1 full-size cocktail table open box. Let's see what the 8 other games are.
Oh, it's a 1-up machine. Okay.
But I would want a vintage one if I was gonna get one, like an actual true.
All right, have you seen this one?
The Capcom controller.
All right. It's cool, right? Because it has the 2 players, just like the old school Street Fighter games.
Right.
There's only like 8 games on this. There's
Oh,
only
that
like
thing.
8
It's got games on that thing too.
Yes.
Okay. How much is that bitch?
Oh, I seen it going for different prices.
Less than $500 though, right?
Oh yeah. But there's only
Yeah.
like 8 games on this. Look
Yeah,
how
but
big
still,
the thing
dude. What
Oh,
what eight
here's-
what 8 games? That's I don't care if it's got 1 game or 20 games. What games?
Let's see. All their fighting games. Most of their fighting games.
I found
Right.
one that's super cool.
Here, wait. Here we go, JJ.
Ooh, Alien versus Predator, really?
Yeah.
1944, sweet.
Captain Commando's a dope game too. Darkstalkers.
Yeah.
Final
Yeah,
Fight.
yeah.
I think
Of
you
course,
just
I love
found the
Final
one. I think you just found the one that I found.
Oh, the Capcom thing?
Ghouls and Ghosts, hell yeah.
No, I shared.
Strider.
Hold on. I shared the wrong thing. Let's see. Share screen. Chrome tab. But this one's new. But it's like $1,000.
For real, Cyberbots? Really?
I'm saying that's kind of.
But this one has Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2. There's some cool. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has like
Okay, yeah. Street Fighter 2.
it has like 13 games on it.
It looks like Street Fighter Turbo Edition, maybe. 1944.
That's probably all the games that I showed on that list right there.
Yeah, that's what I was
Nah.
saying. This one's
Nah.
similar. This one's similar to what you showed. It has pretty much all the arcade Street Fighter games. It looks like, or most of them.
No,
And
not
then it
just
has
Street
some
Fighter. It
other
was
stuff.
a bunch of Capcom games.
See if you
But
can't
this
find a
is-
closer picture or something. Just. Oh, wow, that looks kind of cool.
But this
It
is
does.
brand new. This is brand new production. What
Yeah,
is
see,
this?
Strider, Ghouls and Ghosts, 1944. I think it's all those games. Final Fight. I see.
Yeah, but but look, man, the first 3 or 4 games, man, are Street Fighter games. There's more Street Fighter games on this.
Oh,
one.
everything on the left-hand side. Everything on the left-hand side is Street Fighter games.
Uh huh.
But I think that's the best picture. That's the closest picture that they have.
But then
that's
they
a
also
new-
had all those games like fucking Marvel vs. Capcom and X-Men: Children of the Atom. They had a bunch of other fighting games. Darkstalkers.
Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, man.
Well, Alien vs. Predator was more of a beat 'em up. It wasn't a fighting game.
Well, that was
Yeah.
similar to X-Men: Children of the Atom, wasn't it? Wasn't that
No,
a five team up?
X-Men: Children of the Atom was a beat 'em up. Yeah, it was a
They were
one-on-one.
both, weren't they? And they were both Namco, weren't they?
Wait, are you thinking of the Konami X-Men?
Oh, I'm thinking of the Konami. My bad.
We had the 4 players. Had the 3 or 4 players on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
three
yes.
players.
Yeah, that. All right, the Konami put out 3 games that were almost the same fucking thing. They put out Ninja Turtles, Simpsons, and X-Men.
Yeah.
They were almost the same game, just with character swaps.
So, AVP, Alien vs. Predator, the arcade game, didn't use that, you're saying? They were somebody else?
It was like Final Fight, basically. You could
Oh.
choose between 2 predators, Dutch, and this woman character. I
Yeah.
was using the predators.
I always thought that that video game would have made for an interesting Predator story.
You would think they could have took that and made it a movie, right?
Well, if you know what I like to do? I like to go on YouTube and watch all the like playthroughs of classic games that were just too difficult for me to get through as a kid. AVP being one of them, because you never had enough quarters to get through the entire length of the game. And there's not really that much to it. It's basically an alien invasion in like futuristic Los Angeles, and predators show up to help the humans because the infestation is out of control. And it's like yeah, it's aliens, but it's like the movie Aliens, but Aliens versus Predator almost. So
They also made
cool.
they made a couple of just straight up Alien games and a couple of straight up Predator games. I don't know if
I
they did
love
it.
the Predator game. Yeah.
Hey, Parrot Head. Sorry to interrupt. Hey,
What's up, Parrot Head?
Hey, there it is. I want to get an X. I'm looking forward to when they finally start actually producing the Xbox Series X again, and I can actually buy it for retail. Because I'd like to go back and play that Alien vs. Predator game that they released in 2010. That had a great fucking story to it.
I remember that game.
It's
Is it-
awesome.
Is it? Wait a minute. 2010.
2010.
That was a 360, wasn't it?
That's right.
It's back compat
Well, I would assume so.
because the entire library is not, which fucking sucks. Because I got this Star Trek game for the 360. It's called Star Trek Legacy, and you play through the campaign, starting from the Enterprise era and working your way up to the Next Generation Deep Space Nine era. And you get to use all these cool looking vessels, man, but it's not backwards compatible. I can't play it unless I find it on an emulator or I buy a 360.
If they
Which
couldn't
sucks.
backwards compatibilize it for Xbox One, you're saying?
No, they did not back compat the entire library.
Wow. I mean, wow. Like, damn. So you can't even play it on any of the modern consoles?
Nope.
Wow. So
Nope.
they're
I got a
backwards
small.
compatible, but not
I got a
total.
No, you can't put it in an Xbox One and play it.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. I got a small stack of 360 games that are not backwards compatible. The original Guitar Hero games aren't. None of them. That Star Trek game, and there's a couple of others. I can't remember. I got to go and look. It's been a while. Even the original Xbox and Star Wars games that they had, they made most of those backwards compatible, but not all of them.
Not all.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they're at least on the Xbox store. You know,
Yeah.
being the PlayStation guy, one thing I encountered that I just really fucking hate is the lack of games on PlayStation Now that they have for their PS3 and PS2, library. It's
Right.
it's a fucking kick in the nuts. And I mean, the only decent thing about it is you get access to 3 new games every month, whereas with Xbox Game Pass, supposedly you have access to thousands of games across all of the console generations.
Well, they have, and also when you buy a brand new game, say you buy it on the console, okay, digitally, of course. If there's a PC version to it, no charge, man. It's called Play Anywhere. You buy it once and that's it. If you're on your computer, if you're on your mobile device, whatever, you can play it.
I wish I had bought a 360.
My 360 crapped out. The 360 was a very nice system that was a fragile piece of shit.
They still sell 360s and games, and they're relatively inexpensive now.
It was a fragile piece of shit for the price you pay for it.
Well, here's my little story. My little story is I didn't like the fact that PlayStation 3 wasn't backwards compatible at all, unless you bought it extremely early, which I couldn't because the extremely early models were $700 in 2006. Fucking ridiculous for a gaming console. So I missed out on all the PlayStation 2 backwards compatible PS3s, and when I found out that in like 2008, when I was thinking of buying one, that I couldn't play any of my Ace Combat games or my Star Wars games that all the games that I accumulated, I said, fuck this. I said, fuck this, fuck Sony, I'm not buying a goddamn PlayStation. But my biggest mistake, which I really regret, is not getting an Xbox 360 because there were so many fucking amazing games that were released during that generation. I still want to play X-Men Origins Wolverine. I want to play the Ace Combat game that they released specifically for the 360, Assault Horizon. No.
Dude, no, I didn't like that game.
Fires of Liberation, not Assault Horizon.
That was number 6.
Yeah,
I own that game. That's backwards compatible. I own that game.
Sweet. Great. I'm a huge Ace Combat fan.
I've played every one. Oh, damn.
What's
up,
up,
Marlon? The most new one. I'm Marlon.
How you
Yeah,
doing?
I played the first one when it was Air Combat. Then
Oh,
after
yeah.
they changed it to Ace Combat, I've played every single one on every version they've had. I've got the last one, Ace Combat 7. I love it.
What did you think of Ace Combat 7? Because for me, I have my issues. What's your opinion of it?
I actually liked the game after I figured it out because each stage, to unlock certain shit for certain planes, you had to kill an ace. I'm like, where are these motherfuckers at? They're in every mission, just about, and you got to shoot them down and they only show up under certain circumstances. You got to do these circumstances before they show up.
And
That's still a pain in the ass, because I haven't killed them all yet.
Yeah, but that's always been the Ace Combat scenario. Going back as far back as the Ace Combat 4, 5, and 6, under certain conditions, you had to play the game on either hard or ace for that fucking ace to show up during that mission. That wasn't my problem. Ace Combat 7 fundamentally has a horrible HUD where it's so bright that you can't see any of the LED lighting that you're supposed to use to aim and shoot shit.
Right.
So it looks too fucking bright. I can't see any of the contrast. So I have to turn all the contrast up. I have to do all this other shit. And I never had that problem with any of the other, games. But
that sounds odd. That sounds really odd because I've never had that problem.
What did they start Ace Combat on? What system? Like the first
PS1.
one started on?
PS1.
Okay.
PS1 or PS2, one of those. It was early on.
Yeah.
But it was exclusive. It wasn't all across.
Yeah.
Now,
as far as I know.
Exclusive till 2007. That PlayStation 3 never had the Ace. That Fires of Liberation was never on PS3.
Sentinel.
That's what stopped me from getting a PS3. If they had put Fires of Liberation on PS3, I probably would have bent the knee and bought it at that point. But they didn't. And so.
But I will give the game this, man. Ace Combat 7, it's a beautiful game. Very beautiful game.
Okay. The 360. Really nice games. Great games. Great games. If you look at it the wrong way. If you just look at it the wrong way one day. It's just not going to work. I don't know why.
The Red Ring of Death.
The Red Rings of Death? Yeah, the constant Red Rings of Death. And then
the Gen 1s and the Gen 1s and Gen 2s had that problem until they fixed the overheating problem, because that's what it was. When they bought the Slims out and the other one, there was another one that came out. It was even smaller. They fixed all them issues. And they made them all wireless. They had HDMI plugs.
All right. The girl I was with actually surprised me one day, and she bought me a 360. I was like, I wasn't expecting this, right? Oh, but I was like, oh, hey, thank you. And she's like, try it out. Okay. She got 2 games for me. She got me the Madden of that year and GTA 4. And like, just to try it out, I wanted to go into GTA 4, but it's like, just to try it out in front of her. I was like, I'll play a game of Madden. Very first fucking thing that happens. The kickoff does not come down. They kicked the ball off to me. That ball never came down in the air. That's the very first time I turned on a 360. It's like,
well, bro, games back then weren't perfect. They're still not perfect.
I know, but like, that's not a good first impression.
I understand.
I mean, yeah, I had a lot of problems with a lot of systems, but I was never introduced to a system like that.
That's a terrible way to kick off.
Yeah. Dun-dun-dun.
Very rarely can I
Shark
make video
Week
game
yet?
jokes or sports jokes, but I managed to make a joke.
I know.
I'm amazed at myself. That very rarely happens.
You alright, hon?
All right.
You know what I miss? I
All
miss Shark Week doing like really gory stuff with like Shark Attack.
Huh?
What happened?
What? Something about Shark Attack?
Well, I miss Shark Week doing like
I didn't know my
scary
mic
Shark
was muted.
Attack videos that were like gory
Oh,
and
okay.
shit like that.
You're
They
very quiet
phased
right
all of
now.
that out. I don't know. I
Nah,
just
bro.
miss that.
You look like you were out cold. That's why I was just checking on you.
No, I was looking
No.
at my phone. I was looking at
Yeah,
my phone.
he was phoning it up.
Every time I look at the phone, they tell me, Laura, put your phone down.
Yeah, but
Well,
you know what?
I said that being a smartass, but I didn't realize my mic was muted. I said, "Oh yeah, I was on my phone. I was pulling a Moira."
All right, the role of Moira today. The role
I
of
love
Moira
you.
today.
I love you, darling.
The role of Moira tonight will be played by Hanstar.
Yeah.
She's leaving. Don't do it.
Oh,
Oh.
I was just being funny.
No, we always rag her about her phone.
But you were buried. You're still buried into your phone.
I'm trying to add that other light bulb to my
And Moira
office
wasn't
group.
on her phone at the time, too.
Wow. Come on, Moira.
I was just messing with you, darling.
Look at that. He's look at you see the shadow of the phone on his face, and he's gonna talk shit right now.
You shouldn't have a
I was
shadow
being
whose phone
funny.
illuminates.
I finally figured out what I was trying to do, so I'm getting ready to put my phone down.
And I don't really have a whole lot to really add to the conversation of video game systems. Although I must admit, I am super excited because, well, my daughter was able to talk me into it because I months ago.
Oh yeah, I love
was
this
doing my
story.
taxes and everything, and calculating what the stimulus is supposed to be for her, which took them forever to realize that I had her, but they figured it out and fixed it finally. Anyway, but I was calculating what we were gonna get, and she goes, "Can I get a PS5?" And I was like, "What's the sticker price on that?" And she showed me, like, "Oh, good God, you use vehicle for that." And she's like, "I'll settle for a PS4." And I'm like, "What's your plead your case?" She goes, "Some of that money wouldn't be there if I didn't exist." And I'm like, "Fuck." So I'm thinking on it for a minute. And
She was right. She was right.
And I'm sitting there like, and she goes, "Yes." I'm like, "Well, it's not a no because I'm just trying to find a way if I can argue that." Huh. Because, like, it wouldn't take all the stimulus, but the stimulus I was getting was the child credit stimulus thing. So, technically, because she exists, that money is there. So I'm like, fuck. Anyway, it took months for them to sort it out. Oh my God. They're quick when they want something from you, but boy, oh boy, when you need something from them, boy, they take this 3 times. But their website's trying to say because of COVID. I'm like, oh, please, you can do this from any computer. Shut the fuck up. I'm tired of all those silly places using COVID as an argument. Anyway, so we had settled on the PS4 because at least it was $100 less shocking to the system. My poor system. Holy hell. Anyway, so money finally comes in, and we go to GameStop. And I'm like, "You have a PS4?" And he's like, he looks checking the computer, and he's like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, Dee I'm so disappointed." And he gets this weird look on his face on the computer screen. We're both like, me and Chris are like, and he looks at his coworker and he points at the screen, and the guy, he kind of looks over his shoulder and gives him the head nod. So he kind of does this, and we're like, I feel like we're about to do an illegal drug deal. I'm like, and because there's other customers in the store. So come to find out, apparently PS5 is very hard to get a hold of because something to do with the microchips and because the whole supply and demand concept that people are buying them up and then selling for 3 times the price on eBay. Apparently. Anyway, so he kind of starts whispering and he's like, "Hey, we have a PS5 in the back." And I'm like, "Oh, what's the ticket price on that?" $400 and something. Like, actually, I think it was $400 even, but for the 2-year warranty, it came up to $457, which is like about the price of the PS4, I believe, or a newer one. And I was like, how come it's cheaper? And he's like, because we only had it for a short while, showing it as a demo display. It never really actually got used, but we can't sell it as new because of that. But he was whispering because he didn't want people in the store to wig out, because apparently there's a high demand for this machine. I was not fully aware of that because it's not really my thing.
It
So
would
I
have
would.
it would have been awesome if you ran into some dude standing on the street corner in a trench coat, and he's like,
We
and he's-
we flipped it.
he pulls
Oh,
he pulls up in his trench coat. He's got a bunch of PS5s hanging from the inside of it.
No, they're doing that on eBay. But yes. Anyway, so in fact he's like even kind of looking around, and the box is fairly plain. It just basically says PlayStation. You have to look at the small sticker for it to show that it's PS5. So he puts it in the bag behind the counter so nobody can see what kind it is. And I'm like, I was here like feeling like we're getting away with something. I'm like,
Just don't get anything sold by Soldier Boy.
no,
Is it the,
it was
Moira?
GameStop. Anyway, but so we were able to take it home, and I was like, I have a surprise. She goes, I don't like surprises, Mom. I'm like, well, I think you might like this one a little better. And she looked at it, and then she looked at the sticker, double takes the sticker, and she was like, because apparently she knew about the high demand and selling them for 3 times the price. Apparently everybody but me knew about this. Anyway, and so she was like, this is a PlayStation 5? And Chris was like, happy birth Christmas.
Happy birth Christmas.
All right. Well, also, anytime there was a new system and people were camping out, and say it was late at night, they're going back to their car with their brand spanking new system, trying to get safely back to their car, robbed at gunpoint
Oh my goodness, thank goodness it was just Midwest City.
numerous
Cops
times.
patrolling all the time. It was broad daylight. And
Numerous
yet
times.
nobody realized what we were getting except the 2 people behind the counter.
It wasn't just one time though; it was numerous times. Robbed at gunpoint, going back to your car.
Well, thankfully, this, like I said, broad daylight. The front is glass. As you're coming outdoor, you have a full, clear, long view of everything. And so, like, there was no one sneaking up on nobody.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, but we of course, nonetheless, we felt like we almost got away with something. So we did scurry to the car.
Now, is the PlayStation 5 you got, did it come with the disc drive that you can put the physical disc in, or is it just the digital? Without
Oh, it's
a
the
disc
digital.
drive?
It's the digital.
That's probably why it was a little cheaper. I know the disc drive are retailing at $499, and the digital retail at $399. That makes sense. So you got the digital. So you've got all the updated stuff. It's just you don't have the disc drive.
Right, yeah, because they were saying some. I heard him, Chris and Dee Dee talking about something to do with Steam and some PlayStation account and something about the games being able to be transferred to that machine.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Okay, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have a PlayStation 4. It's on right now. And they, on one of the updates, or one day I turned the PlayStation on, and there's a PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 like icon in the home screen. So I'm like, what's this? And it's for transferring all your PlayStation 4 games to your PlayStation 5. That's what it's for, so that they can run better. Yeah.
Fortunately, Chris is our tech support / data transfer person. So thankfully he was in charge of that because he has an account, like a PlayStation. I guess he has a PlayStation account, I guess. I think they have Steam and PlayStation. Is that a thing? Is that a PlayStation account too?
I've heard Steam is more PS oriented, but I can be wrong.
Well, that may be where they are because I know they have Steam for sure. Because anytime I start up a computer anywhere in this bloody house, that fucking pops up first thing. I swear to God. And I'm like the laptop I was using in here for a while, it had it. And I'm like, why does this have it? I don't play. Why is Roblox on here? Nobody uses this but me. You know, it's like apparently all computers can somewhat talk to each other. Apparently.
Yep.
I found that out. I was like, why is this? You know, I was like, why is it showing Chris's email login? What the fuck? You know, like, so he like built me another one. Apparently he has computer parts.
One of the things I'd be interested in. See, I got my PlayStation in December of 2019, right as they were about to roll out the PS5, and I got a great deal on it. So that's why I bought it, because I was going to get a good deal. And I would like to know how much better the games I bought play on PS5. You know, because I like that, 60 frames standard or 120 frames per second, so it's like really smooth, and there isn't that like choppy, stuff that kind of gets blurry when you're like, in the heat of a lot of stuff going on. Like
Yeah, nobody likes choppy anything.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
I like chop
Well,
suey.
a few times I've gone in there while she's playing, everything looks smooth as can be.
That's awesome. And I heard the load times are so much faster. That's the one of the few things that would get me to buy PlayStation 5. I haven't had bad load-up times for any of the PlayStation 4 games, except the later PlayStation 4 games like Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Star Wars Jedi Knight. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Those take at least 5 minutes to load a goddamn level.
That seems like forever. It sounds
Forever.
like
It
dial-up.
just takes forever. Like longer
Sounds
than
like dial-up, damn near. Good
yeah,
lord.
exactly. Longer than it really should. Longer than compared to everything else it really should. And
If
that's
a page takes like 3 seconds to load, I'm like, what's wrong with this thing? I don't know, I can sit around and wait 5 minutes for that. I'd be like, I just don't have patience. And normally I wouldn't, normally Deidre doesn't get such fancy gifts, but like, we kind of, I don't know. This is why I figured it was like the one opportunity I had to do so.
Oh, that's cool that you did that.
Well, she's always been such a decent sport about it. A lot of times, sometimes we can't give her, have her birthday on her birthday because it's just not the money. We just got to wait a week or so, and this and that. And she's always been a sport all her life about it.
I didn't throw a fit at my parents for the fucking 4 or 5 years that the NES was out until I finally got it at Christmas of '89. So I was like, but when I got it, I was thankful. I wasn't going to be a little asshole about it. I was like,
Oh yeah,
thank you.
no. Like she's a sassy mouth little thing, but not when it comes to like getting stuff because she understands you can't just pull money out of the air. Sometimes, bills cost. Things take money. Everything takes money, and so like she's gotten grown up with that understanding. I figured I was hoping that all of us growing up poor would have some benefit, and I guess it sort of has. She's glad to get what she gets.
Is it growing up poor builds character?
It can. If it's guided correctly. But of course, growing up rich can be okay if it's guided correctly. So, but yeah, that comes with its own separate set of issues. But,
I know I said this before. I never played a Commodore 64 until I was at a friend's house. And then I was at another friend's house and another friend's house. I was like, what is this thing? Although those games took forever to fucking load up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. The 5-inch floppy, hell
I've seen
yeah.
Commodore 64 in a box before, but I've never actually seen it out of the box. Like, I used to know.
I used to use one. A friend of mine down the road had it, man. It's like he was the shit. To me, he had the best gaming ever. It was slightly better than NES graphics, but
it took forever to load up, though.
Yeah. But still, still before the internet, long before the internet, man. I'm talking about like early to mid '80s. He had the disk drive. He had the ability to call on his phone to online chat rooms.
Oh wow.
Yeah. This is early on. Back when they had message boards and stuff, you could actually. This is long before AOL. You stick it on this thing, it dials a phone number, and you get connected. You get to physically type to one another and talk to other people all over the world.
I didn't get my first computer till 2002. And the shell of it is still in the front room. I'm not sure what they're keeping that case.
I got my first one in 2000.
But computer, do you mean like desktop or laptop?
It was a desktop. It was a HP. Yeah. It was the one. It's the one that has like this kind of like bluish gray color. My
Uh-huh.
mother got one that was kind of a whitish color, and I got one that was kind of like dark bluish gray color.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
I'd have
And
to go take a picture of it in the other
it
room.
was old as ass. I mean, slow as ass. I got my first computer, like I said, in I think 2000, 2001, something like that. Had less than a gig hard drive. It was like 800 and something, 900 something megabyte. 128 kilobytes of RAM. No, megabyte. Sorry, 128 megabyte of RAM. Slow as fuck. But you know, you didn't need much for
It
AOL.
didn't seem slow at the time.
No.
It
Yeah.
was. It was. I was impatient back then because even even with AOL being dial up and shit, you had to wait for the dial.
Oh, we skipped over AOL. We used to get those little AOL discs in the mail all the time. I just throw them like they were frisbees till they broke.
Oh yeah, they would send them to your house. So like
I would feel.
Them sons of bitches.
I felt important as hell when I got through logging in. I heard you got mail. I'm like, oh hell, cool.
Oh yeah, the first time that I had a computer in 2002. The first time I talked to I think they lived in England. Blew my fucking mind.
that you could do it that that you could do it that quickly.
I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I got LimeWire, which gives your computer AIDS.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
long
got
like
LimeWire. I had
Gives your
internet
computer
concussion
AIDS.
chat.
It basically did give your computer AIDS.
I could listen to music, chat to people on like Yahoo Chat in England. It was fucking amazing.
Hell yeah, video chats on Yahoo Chat. Fuck yeah.
I didn't do video chat. We just chatted.
I
like
did.
regular.
I did. You could
I didn't
video
have
chat.
camera.
I made it a point to have a camera. I was like, oh, I got to check this out.
I didn't have any money. That was up to my parents. So, but I was my
No,
mom
no,
was by that. I was just like,
It was man. I grew up.
Also left at that LimeWire shit because that's so true. LimeWire.
Oh yeah.
LimeWire was like a death
I
sentence.
try to download movies, and sometimes those movies were not the that somebody lied on that file so their wife wouldn't find out. I'm certain of it. Because like I remember downloading one movie. It was a Sandra Bullock movie where like her husband she wakes up and her husband's dead, and then the next day she
While
wakes
you
up
were
and she's back to
sleeping?
life. Huh?
Was it while you were sleeping?
No. That's a guy in a coma. No,
Double
her
Jeopardy?
husband like was cheating on her, and he's in a car wreck, and she finds out. And then the next day, it's almost like it never happened, and he's not in a car accident, and she thinks she's going crazy, and he keeps going back and forth. And I guess she's supposed to save him somehow. But that was a movie I was trying to download. I can tell you that was not Sandra Bullock, and that was not her saving anybody. I was like, oh my, wrong file there.
So it was a porn spoof, I guess.
No, I don't know if it was a porn spoof. They cut straight to the action. I mean,
It was like if you
I was
were
like,
trying.
oh my, that's not Sandra Bullock.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I downloaded a lot of porn off of Napster, Kazaa, LimeWire.
I think it's pronounced Kazaa. And
Pirate
secondly, I
Bay.
did not know they had porn. And I did
Pirate
that.
Bay was a good one for porn.
I heard that. Oh my! I heard about Pirate Bay, but
Oh,
nobody.
I still download movies from the Pirate Bay.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I don't
back?
want to bother.
Oh yeah, it's never.
I heard it
it's
got
never
shut down
went-
like a number
well,
of times.
it got shut down for like 30 seconds.
Well, first of all, I remember there was a part where I was going onto it, and they had like as soon as you went on the screen, they were trying to give like a fundraiser for the two guys who started and got arrested. Does anyone remember that?
I do. Yeah, I do.
They're like,
And-
could you send this guy like Swedish candies in jail, please? To support him?
And they shut down the original website and the original hosting. But there's
That's
so
probably what I
many.
heard about.
Allegedly, I should say, allegedly the Pirate Bay is still around, and allegedly I think you can still download movies from there.
I remember being able to get full
saying.
seasons of shows.
You may or may not still be able to do that. Not that I would do that because it's illegal. But if you want to sail the seven
And we do
seas,
not
it's still
advocate
there.
breaking the law on this channel.
Car, you don't want to be sailing the seven seas, car. I mean, I don't care either way.
I totally want a pirate flag. Is that weird?
Doesn't take any money out of my fucking pocket. So,
that's
whatever.
sort of their point. But yeah,
I want a Goonies flag. I found a Goonies flag on Amazon, and I'm thinking about putting it over where my curtains are.
nice.
That would be good
would
for the
be
background, though.
That would be
Yeah.
cute. Hey, you guys. There's
There's
me
like-
pop on the stream.
There's like 2 or 3 different Goonies flags on Amazon.
I want to see how much a pirate flag would be.
Not much on
Gar.
Amazon. They have them
Gar.
on, they have everything on Amazon.
That
But they
is-
wouldn't be much.
I
Because
don't
the
know, those
Goonies,
flags are popular right now. I'm just not sure, like, if I should put them up.
the what now?
Oh, I've been watching TikTok, man. It's getting serious on TikTok. Like, there are people hanging up like black American flags and explaining what they mean. I'm like, oh, fuck, you ain't playing.
yeah.
Oh shit. Like, upside down is one thing. Black means take no prisoners. I'm like, it's getting wild on here. I thought it was a bunch of 17-year-olds, and this has escalated quickly. Now there's people older than me, and they're like veterans and everything else. I'm like,
Well, no, I noticed
it's getting wild.
people
I'm
were
like,
saying that everyone's starting to use it, not just teenagers. So,
well, I
we'll
noticed
see how that
I'm trying
goes.
to find people my age and older, and I'm like, I
We'll
found my
see.
people.
We'll see what happens with certain shit that people stir up, depending on their mentality.
Yeah, but I'm sitting here like, so yeah, TikTok's proving itself to be quite interesting. Plus, they have it in like 60-second increments of videos, so I get to all the good parts of a show without the middle fluff. I get the what started it, the middle of it, and the finish of the situation. And I'm like, I like to consume it this way. I don't like the extra filling crap. So, yeah. Like, and I've been stuck on the apparently young Sheldon Cooper show. I didn't think that would be, but I know you
Don't
find it
mention
annoying. We talked about this earlier. I was like,
Don't
honey, you
mention
just don't like string theory. It's okay.
No, I hate Sheldon.
He's a little pretentious, but it's funny.
I hate Sheldon.
It's okay.
Like, I wouldn't mind.
It's not going to make you watch it. Calm your tits.
I wouldn't mind seeing like a movie where the Terminator goes back in time and eliminates Sheldon from existence.
Oh my god, dude,
just
that's excessive.
just my personal opinion. It's a fictional character. I could talk about a fictional character.
I know,
like
but
that.
dude, like your mind even went there. It's like, dude.
I hate Sheldon. I hate The Big Bang Theory. I hate that
Big
show.
Bang Theory kind of lost its luster, but this show is particularly cute, actually. I didn't think it would be, but I as I was swiping through, it show you like a little segment of it, and you're like, I guess I'll go find part 2. And there I am.
Arg.
Arg.
You can get a pirate flag for like $8.
No, how big?
12 by 18.
12 inches by 18 inches?
I guess, yeah.
What am I do? Stick it on the back of my car? I want this shit
Yes.
hanging from a
Yes.
tree. I want the mailman to be
Let me,
worried when he shows up.
Let's see.
Like, no. I want the neighbors to be able to see it.
There's
Sentinel, do you wave any flags in your front yard?
Oh, no. Just an American flag.
You don't wave the Judas Priest flag in your front yard?
No.
I mean,
I got that in my house, but not outside the American flag.
Oh, what's up, Wookie?
Big Bang is patronizing. Well, it's that show where it's a spin-off show that I'm watching.
Yeah, most
Awful.
of them are like 3 foot by 5 foot. But you need to get the one that has like the pirate thing in the middle and it says "Surrender the booty."
I won't
No,
go.
I'm
I
not getting
won't,
that one.
I won't deny that Kaylee Cuoco is hot. Yes, she's hot. She's hot as hell. Sure.
Hey, Wookie,
That won't make me watch the show.
have you seen that show, The Flight Attendant? It's pretty good. She's in it.
No. Yeah, I know.
Never heard of it.
My friend was telling me that. Kaylee Cuoco, girl from Big Bang Theory.
No. I
Yeah,
got
the
the
blonde.
flight attendant. I don't know that.
It's actually a pretty decent show if you like murder mystery kind of
Sometimes.
who did it kind of shows. It's good if you like stuff like that.
I like shows that are slightly patronizing but wholesome, apparently.
Slightly
Well,
patronizing.
Well, the young Sheldon it's got its moments, but it's very cute. It's like more wholesome, and it's him like learning more about people, and like he calls himself a Baptist atheist.
I want to be a character in the Big Bang Theory, so I could have a scene where I've written in that I hit Sheldon with a crowbar when he makes a snarky comment. Sorry.
Oh, dang, dude.
Sheldon annoys me.
Good lord. I know it's a fictional character, but you're getting very serious about it.
I was saying if I was a fictional character. If I was a fictional character.
Well, dang. Still.
Sheldon no bueno.
Oh my goodness. You're just intimidated by the Hadron Collider. Just stop, okay?
It might be the laugh track that intimidates me. I don't know.
This show doesn't have a laugh track.
No, it doesn't at all. But the original one, are you kidding me?
Oh, well, I don't watch that show, though.
They laugh track
I
the
watch the
motherfucker
other
out of it. I knew too many people who watched that show, so I watched the show.
Right. Yeah,
Not
I
wanting
liked it.
to.
There's certain episodes I liked, but I just really couldn't get into it because, like, kind of like Wookie said, it was kind of patronizing. I mean, I understood it was making fun of nerds, and I understand, like, some of what they were talking about. Some of it was a little more advanced than I had browsed over, but I got the general idea of it. But I still kind of like,
Oh, and
like,
the short girl with the glasses, she was hot too.
oh yeah, the one that's the rocket
A
science.
really high pitched voice. Yeah.
Yes. Oh
Not
my gosh.
Blossom. Not Blossom. No, I'm not a fan of
Her
Blossom.
character was cool as shit, though. And I actually liked it because apparently she was on the red carpet at some event, and they were interviewing her for a second, as they do to people on the red carpet. And they asked her how it felt to play a neurophysicist or whatever on Big Bang Theory compared to her real life. And she looks at him, she goes, I actually have a degree in neurobiology. And the guy was like, oh. And I was like,
Damn.
oh, she does. Apparently, when she left Blossom, she decided to go buckle down at school. So
Look at what
actually
Wookie
got
says.
serious science degrees.
Look at what Wookie's saying about one of the characters of the Big Bang Theory.
Howard. Oh, poor Howard.
Is Howard the one that looks like he could be in the Monkeys?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one with the turtleneck, constant turtleneck. No.
All right, the one with the one who's married to the
the smart, good-looking short one. Yes.
yes.
Yes. I don't remember his name, but I know.
I know way more about that show than I want to. Oh my god, I hate this fact. There's so many shows. There's so many shows that I know about that I can't stand. And this is one of them because everyone around me watched this shit. Oh my god.
Wrong button there. Trying to hide. There we go. Nope, wrong button again. What's wrong with me? Let me get this.
I'm glad everyone didn't do this to me with Lost.
With what?
Lost.
Oh, I didn't watch that shit.
I liked Lost.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want you to hide, Moira. We want to see you.
Hey, why not? What? There's 3 people hiding behind Avatar.
I'm not.
Yeah, but you're the only hot girl here.
The bar is pretty low. I'm the only girl here.
Yeah, there you go. That's not a low bar.
It's a non-existent one. It's a default.
All right, Moira. I found one that's 3 foot by 5 foot. It's like
Oh, see,
26
that's what I
bucks.
see.
26 bucks.
Fuck.
That's what I was talking about. Was 3 foot by 5 foot, and she said it was too small.
No, you didn't say that. You said 12 by 18 inches or some shit.
Well, then I said I found some that were 3 foot by 5 foot.
At that point, This one up here was going on and on about how much he wanted to kill Sheldon and become a fictional character so he could do so. Okay, that was distracting.
Yeah, that's why my camera's off, because I'm looking for you a damn flag.
Oh, goodness gracious. I could eventually have looked it up.
See, I do and don't like the. I do and don't like the show Friends. It's kind of like a.
Yeah, what's up,
Alright,
Wookie?
If Friends was just Joey and Chandler, I think the show would have been awesome.
I was never really a fan. I mean, I would watch Friends, but I was never really like a fan.
That's what that was another show I watched more because of other people.
Thankfully, that didn't happen in my house. At this house.
Oh yeah, Monica was an annoying character too. I don't think I'd throw her down the stairs, Wookie. You fucking maniac, you.
Yeah, Wookie is a little wild.
You're like throw her down the stairs. Not even just like shake, not even shake her, like grab her by the shoulder and shake her and tell her to shut up. You just straight up throw her down the stairs. That's a little extreme. I mean, she was hot at least.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'll be right back. I set my alarm to remind me at 12 to go put the clothes in the dryer. Apparently the stupid thing is set for 12 p.m., not a.m. Motherfucker.
Well, damn.
Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
Is that not the correct Southern way to say it?
Well,
No.
golly.
No, is it? No, it's well, golly.
Well, golly.
Yeah, it's just a gall.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I swear to God there's people in this house. So apparently the washer's still going, which I don't even know how that's fucking possible. And someone put in a whole bunch of wet towels in the dryer and didn't start the damn dryer. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's gonna take forever.
Moira, apparently my stream is still going, and I'm like, I don't know how the fuck that's possible.
What do you mean you don't know how it's possible? Like,
I don't know.
Did you try to stop it or something?
No,
Then why the
Not
hell
yet.
would it not still be going?
I'm just saying. Still going. I have 5 viewers somehow. What? 5?
Man?
I have 5 viewers?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm sorry, you 5 people.
All right, Slasher. Enough of that bullshit, man. Ninja Turtles time. You ready for it?
Oh my.
Wednesday.
All right.
Mike come through.
No shit. Really?
Follow him on
No, we're
Twitter.
not.
Follow him on Twitter. And you gotta start harassing him. You start harassing him in the DMs.
Tag him in everything.
JJ, start harassing Mike. Alright. Hang on.
Why? Harassing him how?
He got his ass to come through. That's what I'm saying. He needs a kick in the ass, is what I'm saying.
I don't think I'm the person that's able to do that.
Yeah,
He's a
you
little bit bigger
will.
than I am.
Yeah, you will. You will.
He's a little bit bigger than I am.
Nah, you will.
What's up, Pastor? Good to see you, man.
What's up, Dorthaster?
Hi, Star.
He's talking about Jennifer Tilly. Yeah, Jennifer Tilly. Ooh.
Fucked up boys. Big ass titties.
My friend used to call her Jennifer Titty.
That's an appropriate name, I think.
It is. She's another one with the squeaky voice. She sounds like she just fucking sucked helium out of a balloon.
Hey boys, we got ourselves a squealer. You know you like that southern shit, Marvel. You don't want to hear that. Come on.
What's up, Darth? How you doing, man?
Hey, baby, why you got your camera all over there, huh? You tired of hiding from all the good-looking men? What's up? Hmm?
No, Weinstein was a factory, basically. Wookie. Weinstein, everything that Weinstein did, it's like it was so overlooked until it was in popularity to complain about it. Which means all the women who could have said something in the beginning could have helped a lot of future victims and got him locked up. Just what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course. It's always that, man.
Parrot head.
Good night, Parrot Head.
Have a good one, Parrot head.
Yeah, Parrot Head.
Sorry, it's this now.
What are you talking about, man? We're just chilling out bullshitting, man. About whatever.
It's been a while since Seth was talked. Sorry, Seth was probably thinking I'm a fucking maniac right now.
What up?
Well, yeah, you talking about going against what's his name? Taking a Terminator, going back and killing Sheldon.
Oh, me?
What the fuck was that? Yeah, what the fuck was that about?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. I'm saying, like, I wouldn't mind the movie Terminator vs. Sheldon. That's just my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
Tell you what, man, make that movie.
No. That one, there's no way in hell that would be fast. No way. CBS or whoever the fuck owns the rights to Sheldon, they'd be like, no way.
Yeah, well, Coop, you know, he's the savior of humanity now. He's going against the Terminators.
I hope the Terminators win.
You're not alone in that fucking view.
That's what we need, man. A good Terminator movie.
Sorry, versus Sheldon? Yes, that would be awesome. But no, I'm just kidding.
No, but that's what we actually need, man. A Terminator movie that actually the Terminators won. What happens if they win?
But you know what? Everything always seemed like they won anyway, no matter what movie starts, because like, oh no, they did this, and now you have to do this. Oh no, they did this, and now you have to do this. They do it all the time. They never stayed. I mean, I guess part 2 is like, I'm sorry, that third one, they didn't need to make that third one. They really didn't.
Yeah. Now, I didn't mind Salvation.
Salvation was good. It's just the execution was bad. I felt they should have had more scenes at night, but I thought it was a good start. I wish they did have a sequel to that.
Now, I didn't like the entire movie, but I love the transition in Genesis. When they went back to the original Terminator, I liked how they did that. But the fact that, you know, they had to change, you know, Emilia Clarke and put her in there with that other guy's freaking, I can't remember, is it Reese?
You know what? I saw Salvation. I can't remember a damn thing about it. I can't remember a single thing about it. That's the last one I saw. Oh, wait. Okay. Now that I'm thinking about it. Dude was half Terminator, but he didn't know about it, right? Or he was a Terminator that was programmed.
And he thought he was human.
That was it. Okay. All right. See? Okay. I do remember something about it.
I think I had Jason Statham in it or someone like that in there. No, not Statham.
I don't. Other than that detail, don't remember a single thing
Well,
about
hang
it.
on. I'll let you know. Hang on.
Talking about Terminator, what do you think about The Rock?
As a Terminator,
Yeah, them restarting the Terminator franchise. Not necessarily remakes, but
yeah,
rebooting with
he'd
The
make
Rock.
a good Terminator.
Well, and a lot of people are raising hell about it because, like, oh, well, no, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like, yeah, but it's the Terminator. The Terminator
It's
can
the
come
Terminator can
in
be
any
many
form.
different people. That's why I never understood why they always had to have Schwarzenegger. It's like Terminators are always supposed to be different looking people.
Yeah, and the Terminator, as long as they don't do remakes, if they want to continue the story or make new movies, all they have to do is write into the storyline that the Terminator, for whatever reason, now is The Rock, because the Terminator comes with this body for these movies.
But I'm saying, like, the Terminator was also... There was even a different looking Terminator in the first Terminator when they went into the flashback scene, which I guess you could say is a flash forward scene, where the Terminator storms into the underground bunker and starts gunning everyone down.
Oh, yeah. The Rock has a great set of titties.
The guy's name was Sam Worthington.
I think The Rock, not to downplay what you just said, JJ, but I think The Rock would make a cool Terminator, personally. As long as they continue the story in a decent way.
They're not going to.
Well, that's the problem is they're going to make it like some weird SJW, we all need to drive fucking Teslas and be
What made me not want to see the last one was hearing that it's a total reset button on Terminator 2. Like, all their Terminators don't exist.
I'll be right back. I gotta go use the little boy's room.
I got you.
All right. Apparently,
I don't know if I-
dick
I don't know
size
if
for
I-
the bathroom at his house. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
That's fucked up,
Slasher.
man. That's fucked up. Man.
That was fucked up.
And you know you can hear everything you say too, right?
I know. JJ knows I'm just messing with him. But no, go ahead about the Terminator there, Slasher.
No, I'm just saying that's kind of a slap in the face to everyone who watched the Terminator movie after 2 and who was invested into the movie franchise after 2. If they're like, no, this should be a reset button. I don't think that's fucking... It's like the same shit I was saying when... Alright, going back to the show Lost. I didn't get invested into that show. People tried to get me into that show. And when I find out the ending of the fucking show is that they're in purgatory since day 1... No. You're pissing in your fan's face if you do that.
We ended up talking about this earlier. I want to say it was on Jackbox somehow. We ended up talking about it, but I was into Lost from the very first. I watched it from the very first episode all the way through to the end.
Yeah, and didn't it end with them being in purgatory?
And at the end, it's like they kind of leave purgatory and go on to be with Mr. Jesus, as I like to call him. It's like they figure out what's going on. But to me, it was like they fucked up what could have been a really good story.
I was saying, but
At
was
the end.
as a fan who watched every episode, was that a slap in the face to you?
Yes, it was, because it seemed like one of those shows that went on like 1 or 2 seasons too long.
And got so many people invested into it.
And at the
They got
end,
so many
they tried.
people.
At the end, they realized this is the end of the show, So they tried to like wrap it up and make some bullshit ending that to me didn't make sense and didn't go along with the premise of the show for all the other seasons I watched. You know, a lot of shows, it's like the last season is bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of shows.
Because it's like, oh, okay, this is the end of the show. We need to wrap this shit up really quick. So, to me, that was a bullshit ending. With all the other stuff that happened on the show, there could have been a way better ending than that. And I thought it was a bullshit ending, and it pissed me off.
See, everyone was telling me, and they do the same thing with The Walking Dead. They're like, I was into it for like 2 or 3 seasons. Then it pissed me off and I stopped watching. And then they hear something else happen. And then they get back into it. But then something else pisses them off, so they get out of it.
I was into it until I forget what season it was, but I was into it until Negan showed up and Rick became like a fucking cuck. For Negan, basically. And at that point, I gave up on it. And part of the reason I started watching it is the first season or two, I know a lot of the filming locations because when the show started, it was filmed in Atlanta. And it was actually filmed.
I see, like, you see that logo at the end of a lot of shows that film in Georgia.
Oh, you know why? There's 2 reasons why. The first reason is the governor of Georgia has given big tax breaks for them to make movies here. That's why there's so many shows and movies now filmed in Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And 2, Georgia is a right-to-work state, which means they can hire crews that are not union.
And weren't there also a bunch of actors that were, because of some sort of something got passed about a year or 2 ago, and all these actors made their list that they weren't going to work in Georgia. Ain't going to work in Georgia no more. And
then they did anyway. But because there's so many different movies and shows being made here. Actually, the town, I'm right outside Atlanta, but the town I specifically live in, there's been several movies filmed here and shows. There
are so many shows that end with the filmed in Georgia logo. There's
Ozark.
So many shows.
I don't know if you ever watched the show Ozark on Netflix, but most of the filming of Ozark was done here. And one of the bridges that they use a lot in Ozark over a lake, because they're supposed to be around the lake of the Ozarks, is a bridge that's like, goes to a state park over a lake that's like 10 minutes from me. And actually, downtown of the city I live in, just a month or so ago, they did filming for, and I didn't even know this movie was coming out. They did filming for a live-action Powerpuff Girls movie.
Oh, yeah. I heard of it. I heard of that coming out.
But yeah, they moved from Atlanta farther south into Georgia as the show progressed on The Walking Dead. But like the first season or 2, maybe 3, were basically in Atlanta. And there's many filming locations. Like, I work for a railroad. A lot of people know I work for a railroad. There's an old railroad building across from a yard that I sometimes work out of that was Terminus. I don't know if you watched it far enough to see that when they went to Terminus. But I know the building that is Terminus. And it's literally right across the tracks from a yard that I work in sometimes in Atlanta. And that was Terminus. And the reason it was called Terminus was because that was the original name of the city of Atlanta, was Terminus, because so many railroads converged here in the South. So it was originally called Terminus, was the original name of the city of Atlanta. And eventually it became known as Atlanta. I don't know I'd have to look at fucking Wikipedia to see and remember why it became known as Atlanta. but the original name of the city of Atlanta was Terminus, and that's like a nod to old school Atlanta was when it was called Terminus, so they named that after what Atlanta used to be known as, was Terminus. So, I mean, right now, if you came to Atlanta, I could take you to Terminus. And I know a lot of people that, I wasn't around that area at the time, but I know a lot of people that actually, like, met some of the stars of the show and got, like, autographs and all this other stuff because they literally worked across the tracks from where they were filming. And there's so many studios now setting up shop and production companies setting up shop in Georgia, specifically around Atlanta as kind of the hub. But they filmed a bunch of stuff. Like I said, I live about 40 to 45 minutes north of Midtown Atlanta, and they filmed all kinds of stuff around the smaller town that I live in, of all different kinds of movies. And there was one called The Devil's Knot, I think was the name of it, and they actually filmed it using the old courthouse for the county here that's not used anymore. They have a new, modern courthouse, but they wanted like an old school, courtroom setting. So they used the courthouse in this town for filming, that movie, which was based off of a true story. Not that that makes any difference, but it's kind of funny, because I see all these things filmed, and there's even things that claim, they're not around Atlanta. Like, I watched a movie not that long ago that they were trying to say they were like in North Carolina and all these other places. And I'm like, I know exactly where the fuck that is. They're in Atlanta.
They have
They're
that.
around Atlanta.
They have game shows. With that logo at the end. There's game shows that fucking filmed in Georgia, where it has the peach logo.
Yeah, and it says Georgia. And there's, like I said, there's so many things filming around Georgia. It's money. It's all about money. That's why it's now nicknamed the Hollywood of the South, because...
That's what I'm wondering about all those people who put their names on that list who haven't set foot to film anything in Georgia now. I'm wondering.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, kind of like when everybody was like, oh, if Trump gets elected, we're moving to Canada, or we're moving to Mexico, or we're moving to Cuba. And they never did.
Not a single one of them did.
No,
not a single one of them.
It's a similar thing. If you get offered enough money and you want to film the movie, yeah, you may have came out on social media saying, oh, Georgia, and I don't even remember now what it was. It was something to do, like, I'm not a politics guy. It was something to do with,
it was something to do with the, I think it had something to do with that, abortion thing of not...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was something to do with abortion, if I remember right, and all these people in Hollywood were all up in arms about it. But I guarantee you, if you offer a big-name actor or actress $10 million to come film a movie in Georgia, they're going to come film a movie in Georgia.
Of course, because, your integrity comes with a price, right?
Oh, yeah. Of course it does. And from the seasons you said you watched, you didn't watch it far enough for, and I can't remember now what it was called. But my son actually went to a town that's south of Atlanta that now is like a tourist destination of like this neighborhood they had from the show. And there's like gift shops, and one of the guys...
Oh, okay, yes, yeah. I hear the same thing about Breaking Bad. I love that show. But I hear that they have, like, tours. They have, like,
exactly.
Breaking Bad tours when you go to Albuquerque.
Yeah, and what's his name? Something Reedus.
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus actually opened a restaurant in this small town in Georgia where they filmed, and I can't remember now the name of the area, but he actually opened a restaurant there. And you can go take a tour, and I haven't watched the show past that part, so I don't know where they are now, if they're even still there. But it's like a cookie cutter, like subdivision kind of neighborhood.
Yeah.
That they use for filming, And you can actually see the neighborhood, but of course there's chain link with like the black shit, blocking the fence. But you can see the area, and there's tours and gift shops, and like I said, Norman Reedus opened a damn restaurant there, and I'm trying to remember now the name of the town. I can't think of it right now, but
It's called Reedusville.
yeah. But
Reedus County?
He was so into Georgia that he opened a fucking restaurant in that town.
I went way over 2 hours. Well, okay. Okay. Hanstar, you're not muted right now, but everyone else is. I'm gonna wrap this up, but I'm gonna say later, everybody. Later, Darth Haster. Wookiee Lives Matter. Oh, I'm wrapping this up. Why?
Oh, I just picked up. Yep.
Parrothead. Well, everyone else is here. But JJ's not back.
I'm sure you said goodbye though.
I guarantee you. Normally, JJ said he'd go and use the bathroom, and it takes a long time, so you think he's dropping a deuce, but then he's like, well, no, I had to stop in the kitchen and get a drink, and I did this and that.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, me too.
No, but JJ is also the type of person who would admit, he's like, yeah, fuck it. I'm a human being. I was dropping a deuce.
He's like, I'm here.
Props to Hanstar and Moira Kitty's background. They're got the lighting going on.
Oh, thank you.
It's good.
Mine's just my office.
Oh, it's good though. Moira Kitty, do you have a green screen? Oh, it's just as good.
Oh yeah, a few. I wanted the place to look, way better than. This
No, it looks awesome.
right here.
That looks awesome. That looks just as real as Hanstar, to be honest. Just I can tell it's not because it's like flickering right along
Yeah,
like,
it's got
your
a few
head and
flicker
shit.
spots because the lighting's uneven in here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
this one's not bad either.
Han's background is like the real life background of the way you got that shit lit up.
Yeah.
It's a little more dazzle.
I have a green screen, but I get tired of setting it up because I have to put all these special lights and shit behind it, like studio lights.
I'm making it work with just a table lamp over here, and I tacked and stapled the green screen to the wall, and the couch covered in green fabric.
I have a green screen, and I'm not even gonna attempt to try to do anything with that shit.
I can't tell you the last time I used my green screen, just because the green screen itself is easy. It's the lighting that's a pain in the ass to cut.
I swear, even when those lights don't move, it somehow thinks it has. It totally changes, and it's annoying.
Yeah. I have like some actual legit studio lights for using my green screen, but it's a pain in the ass to set them up and put the green screen up. So I'm like, my office is cool enough.
That's why I settle for the flicker. I'm like, screw it.
Well, alright, I'm not ending this till JJ comes back and says something. So.
Well, he's in the chat. I'm here.
But that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, fine.
Sentinel.
Yeah.
You down to watch a movie on Wednesday?
Oh, I might be busy.
Okay. Hey, Hanstar, you want to watch Ninja Turtles?
What
Moira?
time? What time
Ninja
are you
Turtles?
talking about?
Wednesday, it's up to JJ. There we go. Let JJ come back and answer that question.
I think he said like 7:30 is when y'all were gonna start, is what he told me earlier, which is gonna be too late for me to watch the movie and go to bed by my normal bedtime because I have to work Thursday morning and be up at like 4:30.
And Sentinel is West Coast, so he's gonna be probably at work or something, right?
Lots of hugs, Darth.
Sonoya, Georgia is where his restaurant is.
Have a good one, Darth. By the way, Darth. hit me up on Twitter if you want to come through and watch Ninja Turtles. Oh, and in the last minute, Vigilante
Oh
comes
man, you guys ending? That sucks.
Dude, we've been waiting an hour for you to show up.
I was just doing stuff.
We can go on for 2 more hours.
No, I don't. I mean, I feel bad now. I didn't know you guys were ending because I was chilling and then I started talking to the Wake Down. Shout out to the Wake Down, and then I'm like, oh, I saw the message with Slasher. I'm like, oh man, I didn't know how long you guys were going, so I apologize, man.
All right, well, I'm already 15 minutes over what I thought I would go, so why not go another 15 minutes over?
We're waiting on
Okay,
JJ
I mean-
anyway, so
Yeah,
It's not like I have a schedule.
I
No, I
sort of
mean-
did, but if I fall asleep on here, it's all good.
it wouldn't be the first time. You used
True
to do
that.
sleep streams.
True that.
And you're lounging. Oh no, you turned your camera off again, and you're
My
lounging.
finger was hovering above the mouse on here, and that's where the cursor was.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Like, it kind of sensed the heat of my finger or whatever and reacted. So, it actually me to do it this time.
Yeah, I'll social for a bit, Vigilante.
All right, I apologize. What were the last thing you guys were talking about?
All right, well, all
it was
right.
cool when you guys were talking about the retro cabinets and stuff. That was really awesome.
Oh, going backwards, talking about the retro cabinets. I was calling them tabletops. Slasher.
Yeah.
They're actually called cocktail table games
Okay.
because they were tables where you could set your cocktail and
Drink.
play the
I
video
know,
games.
I know. I was saying, like, when I saw the Wizard, when I saw that movie The Wizard, I was like, I never saw this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I there was a Chinese restaurant that was like built in the '60s near my house, and in the bar they had the coolest setup. They had a Pac-Man and the Space Defenders or Space whatever it was called.
Space
And-
Invaders?
Space Invaders. That's right. Both were that kind of tabletop games. And they had a full-on nice like leather chair, and my brother and I sat on opposite sides. We had our Shirley Temple. No, I had a Roy Rogers. This is like years ago. And we were just like hanging out, playing Pac-Man and Space Invaders together, and having some like pork fried rice,
What-
and it was great. Great memory.
What? I'm with Moyer. I've heard of a Shirley Temple. What's a Roy Rogers?
Roy
Are you
Rogers
sure
is
not?
a
Are you sure
cult.
you're not thinking of a Rob Roy?
I know he's
I rem-
talking about non-alcoholic drinks. I'm pretty
I
sure.
remember Roy Rogers was a shortly-lived chicken place around here.
Roy
That is so
Oh.
weird.
is Coke with cherry flavor.
Oh,
And
so
Shirley Temple
Cherry
is Sprite or 7 Up
oh,
with
okay. So
cherry flavor.
Roy Rogers was basically a cherry Coke, and Shirley Temple was basically a cherry Sprite.
That's
Hi,
exactly
Wake
right.
Down. Hi, Robert. Hi, Turk.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, I
Hello.
told him I was looking to come over here. I didn't know you.
Thanks, Vigilante.
At least I
Hello,
brought
Robert.
people to
Wake
because I'm
down.
keeping everyone up. I feel bad about that.
New
I
bomb.
actually woke up, and so I was waking up as you guys were going.
So you're woke, is what you're saying.
Yes, I'm woke. Super mega woke.
Oh no!
Oh no. Hi.
Oh no!
A movie theater has Pac-Man, like,
Cool.
but with those. All right. Was it cocktail games? That sounds weird. I always like. I would rather say tabletop games.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I was looking in there. I guess the actual technical term is cocktail table games because them being tables and you could set your
Oh, so
cocktails
that-
on them.
That means they probably also had them in casinos.
They
back
they
in
may
the
have.
day,
That
Yeah,
same style was in casinos for sure. Like the
Yeah.
style, and
yeah.
little slot or poker games or whatever.
I always called them tabletop games because at the
too.
time I was a kid and I couldn't drink cocktails. So to me, I didn't understand that it was set up for you to set your cocktail there and play Pac-Man. Like I said, the pizza place I went to had tabletop Pac-Man, tabletop Centipede.
I had Centipede on 2600.
Oh, I did too.
I'd love to buy 2600. All right, yeah, they look like shit. Some of the games were fun.
No, I mean it still look cool. I mean, I know it's the little pixel style, but it's still kind of a cool style.
I mean, at that time though, it was cool as fuck.
It's kind of all you had.
I mean,
it was all you had for a home system.
Yeah, I mean, and I even had a 2600, and then we upgraded at some point to the the 7800.
My friends had that, and there was the other one, the fucking the Intellivision.
Yeah, and then there was ColecoVision. My brother had a ColecoVision, and then it was after the 7800 that we upgraded at my house to the original Nintendo.
They had a fucking computer too. Atari made a fucking computer.
Oh yeah, I've seen. I never had one, but I've seen videos about that. Yeah, the Atari computer. It was funny.
I think that's what Fred Savage was playing in the beginning of The Princess Bride.
Bob Turk said he has the 8200 Atari computer in quote.
8200. There you go.
That's okay. I didn't know what it was called. I just know it was the Atari computer.
What is their number system based on? It was like 2600 and 7200.
It was like
start making numbers up.
Well, there was the 5200. Then there was the 7800.
See, I never even saw a 5200. I saw the 2600 and the 7800.
And then
we got the original Nintendo Entertainment
Jaguar,
system.
Man. Don't forget the
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
I forgot about
remember Jaguar.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Jaguar.
Jaguar.
One of the biggest flops in console history, the Jaguar.
There were a bunch of consoles in the 90s that didn't really like the Neo Geo had a console.
Dreamcast.
I think
Dreamcast.
Neo Geo is like better on the arcades than
The Sega Saturn also. Sadly,
Sega Saturn.
Oh yeah.
32X.
The 32X. Jesus Christ.
I remember that. The commercials were awesome. But,
Philips. Or was it the Philips CDI or whatever the fuck it was?
CDI.
The Dreamcast
Yeah.
is the biggest, status.
The 3DO. There's the 3DO. There was a bunch of flops.
But the Dreamcast was really good. I liked it.
Oh, it was really good, but I don't think it was a success that they hoped it would be. You know what I mean?
That was
I had a buddy that went like full in Dreamcast, and it was cool. It was a cool system.
It was the first online system too, if you remember.
Yeah, but
I remember that's also the first sports game where if the home team's losing, that the crowd would leave and you would see empty stands. That was the first game I ever saw.
And the Dreamcast kind of had those weird controllers, and it had like a thing to put I forget now exactly what all.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Like that,
put like the little thing,
like a gigapet.
You could play it.
The memory card was like a gigapet, basically.
Yeah, and it had like a screen on the front of the thing you would stick in the
It had a
controller.
little controller.
You
could play a game.
It had like this weird shaped controller.
You know that kind of went into the design of the Xbox controller. They refined it based off the Dreamcast design.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
If you remember that original Xbox, how blocky it was
The
similar.
64 had a really weird controller too, though.
Yeah, even I like that controller, especially playing GoldenEye.
Oh yeah, the 64 was cool.
Did anybody mention the TurboGrafx 16?
All right, TurboGrafx that had a lot.
No, I didn't think about that.
It had a lot of great games, but that was also kind of a flop.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was better than Jaguar though. Way better.
Oh yeah, oh it definitely was. Shit, I think the Atari Lynx was better than the Jaguar, and that was a fucking handheld.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there was a couple handhelds, obviously Game Gear and Game Boy. But wasn't there another handheld outside of those two?
TurboGrafx actually had a handheld that would play the system games. The Turbo Express.
Oh, wow.
I think that was the first one that was like that.
It's almost like the Wii.
And let's see the PSP. I remember the PSP.
Oh yeah, PSP.
Remember the PSP? But I'm thinking of like the 90s, because PSP is like 2000s.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
The original Gen 1 Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys.
The
One
green
thing about the game.
green.
Yeah,
Everything was green.
the green screen, they like kind of faded yellow. It was
Yes.
gray. But you guys remember the Game Gear had like a TV antenna? That was the coolest
Yeah.
shit to me.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't like the
Remember-
Game Gear could play Genesis games. You had to get Game Gear games for it.
Yeah.
The Turbo Express, you could play TurboGrafx 16 regular system because they had cards. They didn't have cartridges. Their shit was fucking cards for their games.
Yeah, that's very Switch like basically.
It
'cause
was
it's
it
kinda
was
like-
almost like the old school big SD cards you would put in like the digital cameras, like when they first became popular.
They had good games for it though.
Mhm.
They were the ones that introduced Splatterhouse, and the
Yeah.
Splatterhouse games are fucking awesome.
Yep. Was you about to close up shop, Slasher?
Well, Vigilante came in at the end. I'm at 226. I'll wrap it up at 2:30. So let's talk
Okay.
more bullshit.
Well, I was just curious because it's almost that time, man.
Okay, so I'll ask this: who's willing to come through for Ninja Turtles on Wednesday on JJ's channel?
It's gonna be JJ and I have talked about it. It's gonna be too. I would love to because I love the original Ninja Turtles movies, but it's gonna be too late for me.
Yeah. What time?
JJ,
You said it, man. What are you asking me for?
we're watching the movie at 7:30. Correct, JJ?
Yeah.
Okay. 7th. Well, I'll be doing Culture Crime Fires. Like I'll be wrapping it up. So
Have we
I can come in
clarified whether or
late.
not Central Time or Eastern Time or anything?
That'd be
Eastern.
Eastern time.
All right.
Eastern.
I don't want anyone showing up like an hour late. I personally am not a Ninja Turtles kind of person. And
But you're gonna watch it with us, right, Moira?
I might be on the panel with y'all.
Oh, come on.
I'll come. I might come through and like watch along part way through.
The
Like I said,
original, the original Ninja Turtles is
Yeah,
a great
that's-
movie.
I won't be able to make it.
It's been a
That's
while
fine.
since I've seen it.
Okay, so we got two maybes, JJ. Actually, 3, including Mike. Mike is a maybe.
Now that's one I'll believe when I see it.
I'll try to twist his arm, see what he can do. Anyway,
Real quick, New Bomb Turk brought up the Nomad. You guys remember that?
Oh, never heard about one.
no.
I think I'm-
It vaguely sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you nothing about it.
Did it play? It played Genesis games. It
Who
played
remember
actual-
this damn thing?
It played actual Genesis games. So why the fuck did they have the Game Gear before that?
Why did they have the 32X Saturn and Sega CD? That made no sense. Just pick one.
No, the
and just
Saturn
go.
was after. The Saturn was next gen.
Okay.
The
I remember
32
the people having.
The 32X and the Sega CD were the stupid add-ons for the Genesis.
Was
Yeah,
it just
neither
me,
one of them.
or was Sega massively overrated in its heyday? Was it? I mean,
I liked a lot of Sega games.
was it the games that really made Sega the console? Because looking back at some of the looking at the graphics of the same, like for example, Mortal Kombat 3 or Mortal Kombat Trilogy, looking at it on
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about like those types of games. I'm talking about like their originals. They had some
Oh, I
great
see what
original
you're saying. I
games.
was talking about like the graphic processing power.
No.
Oh,
They
Super
get-
Nintendo blew them out of the water. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, that's what I figured. And then N64 kicked them in the nuts. You know.
Yeah, I think with the Genesis, it has its own like nostalgia to it. Like people
Yeah.
grew up playing the Genesis. It had its own graphic system that looked unique to it.
It had
'cause,
blast
like,
processing.
Yeah, blast processing. Whatever the hell that is.
Every time they were talking about their Sonic games, it was blast processing.
Yep. Nothing
All
wrong
right.
with that.
All right, Sentinel. Hang on. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Wait. Go ahead and let us know where we could find the Sentinel.
You can find me on YouTube and Twitter at the type in the Sentinel. I do random pop culture involved things, music videos, occasional game stream, just a little bit of this and that. Nothing really specific. Sorry, that was pretty bad.
All right. Well, thanks for coming through.
No problem. See you later.
Are you bouncing now? Okay.
Yeah, I gotta bounce.
All right. Have a good one.
Fun,
See you,
fun
Sentinel.
time, everybody. Nice.
Thanks
to meet
Have a
you.
good time, man. Have a good night,
You
man.
Yeah,
too,
man, nice
Lenny.
streaming with you.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice
you
streaming.
too. We'll
Thanks
do
for
this
coming
again
through.
sometime for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Hansar. Whoops. How you doing?
I'm good.
Hey, Hansar. Where can everyone find Hansar?
YouTube.com/Honstar. Do fun Sunday streams every Sunday, 11 p.m. Eastern. We do either Jackbox Game Night or Name That Tune. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at HonstarYT.
And that's it. You good?
I'm good.
All right. Oh, thanks for coming through. If you can see me,
I forgot to say, sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet.
Right here. What's up, guys? You find me right here.
I got you.
You can't steal my thing.
Short and sweet.
I thought that was
Hey.
JJ's thing.
I've done
No,
said my
I've been
spill.
doing that.
Nah, I've done said my spill twice tonight. I ain't doing it a third.
I got you.
But
So-
when the name is missing.
Turn your camera on, Moira. We want to see you.
Why?
At least for your outro. Just see. We want to see you. You're lovely.
Yeah, look at those terrible sparkles that are going on.
We don't.
You're phasing.
Well, there's nothing I can do unless I put up another light.
Okay. Everyone's so enthusiastic to let me know where we
It's
can
almost
find
it's
everybody.
2:30 in the morning, and I have to be up at like 7 something.
Okay. I know someone who's actually going to be enthusiastic about saying where we could find him.
You now have to be. The pressure's on. No, I mean, thank you for having me, man. I think everyone in the chat sub to me, but if you're not, sub to me. I talk shit, and I'm not that good at it. But hey, I try to be entertaining, and I appreciate Slasher having me, and I just appreciate being here. These streams are cool. I wish I'd have got in a little earlier, but thank you for having me, and thank everybody for listening and watching and following me over. Some people follow me over from the Wake Down stream. So yeah, I appreciate these streams. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make as many because now I start back work next week. So I work.
That's fine.
Stuff.
You're not just pointing out your fucking name and be like, hey.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
No problem, man.
Oh wait,
We're really phoning it in. Yeah.
So wait, should I? All right, so I'll do my spiel right now. Hey, everybody, how are you doing? My name is Slasher McSplitter. I am on both YouTube and Twitter.
You sound like you're reading from cue cards.
Probably being held hostage.
I talk
Yeah, it does.
about random things, and I try to have random people on just so we can talk random
It's like me
bullshit.
trying to read in front of a
No,
class.
no offense to my friend JJ, who uses the term random a lot, but sorry. It's just what it is.
Oh my
Anyway.
God.
Alright.
Speaking of, are you going to do randomness at its finest Monday? Which is
Yeah, I already got it.
today?
Yeah, I already got it scheduled.
Okay.
I may randomly stop by.
Alright. I may randomly end the episode. Later, folks.
Have a
Good
good
night,
night.
everybody.
Peace.